Hey, morning.
Good morning.
How you doing?
Good, and you?
I'm okay. I'm okay.
That's good.
I'm making it. I'm drowning in typewriters right now. I got three of them on my desk, all standards. So they're yeah. So I got to figure out what I'm going to do with that. I was supposed to be moving, but I got turned down. So
Oh,
yeah, I got to figure out what I'm gonna do now.
yeah.
Place.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I got a 12-inch Royal in,
Ooh.
and you know what they look like? They, standard thing,
Yeah, yeah,
monster.
yeah.
Here it is.
Oh, very nice.
And I barely use ones that big. But there you go. I had to have her, so there she is.
Hi, Eric. How are you?
Hi, how's it going? I'm doing well.
Good. Definitely.
Hey, Eric, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
All right.
Yeah, we're having a little bit of a slow start today, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I decided to just go ahead and go live, even though there's just a few of us. So
Mhm.
for a bit there, I was thinking, well, I guess it's just gonna be me today. And I was fully prepared to just go on with the show and just read my read my typing prompt and
No, you read it to yourself, right?
yeah, exactly.
Now you knew that wasn't going to happen. You being by yourself, somebody was coming. One of us
Yeah,
gonna be
yeah.
there. One of us at least.
And then I saw Natasha popping in, and I was relieved. So
Yeah,
yeah,
diehards here.
it can be a little awkward to talk to yourself, but
Yeah, way off.
of course I've been making these, well, not these YouTube videos, but YouTube videos in general for quite some time, probably
Mhm.
going on 10 years. So I'm pretty comfortable with talking to myself. Oh boy. Have either of you done YouTube?
I've thought about it,
Yeah.
but I haven't done anything.
Okay.
I have a YouTube channel, but I don't say anything. It's just, I don't know if you went to it. It's like it's just my photos with a Kiev 88. And if you're familiar with those, they're like knockoffs of the Hasselblad camera.
Oh,
So
okay.
people always insult the Kiev 88 because it's a knockoff of the, but I love them. The lenses are milky, smooth, beautiful.
Ah,
So that's what I have on my page. It's just like a flash show of pictures that I did with the Kiev for people who are considering buying them. So
yeah.
I put them up there and, and to say, hey, these can work, even though I'm on my fourth one, because they tend to crack up eventually, or you'll buy one that's already, messed up real bad. And you don't know it till you take the pictures. Like I did a photo shoot of a girl, a nude shoot, and the pictures came out half where the curtain inside halfway open. But when I looked at the pictures, they were gorgeous because it looked like she was behind a curtain. So it kind of
Oh,
worked out. Yeah. So
yeah.
Happy accidents.
that's my show, my YouTube. A happy accident. A great accident.
Excellent, excellent.
Yeah, I've been playing around with the idea of doing like fountain pen videos or something, because
Oh yeah.
I've been like getting a lot of fountain pens, and I've just like really gotten into that this year. So, but
That would
I'm
actually go ahead.
I'm a little bit I guess shy to I'd be worried that I would lose interest, but I don't know.
Well, it doesn't matter if you lose interest. If you're interested at the time and make a few videos, and are done with it, that's fine, because then those videos are out there. And I do have to say, there's a very, very strong community of fountain pen people on
Yeah.
YouTube. So that would be an excellent one to get into.
Yeah, and that's the other thing that made me think about doing it was, I mean, there's a lot of channels that I watch that I'd like to, maybe even be able to start like a dialogue with them, because like it seemed like interesting people, and
Yeah.
just to kind of, just talk about fountain pens.
Yeah. I even have one right. Oh, it does show up. Okay, because I have my background blurred. I've been playing around with this Monteverde Ritma, which came in that subscription box that I subscribed to.
Nice.
And let me tell you, this pen is pretty amazing. Yeah, it's very, very smooth, and I actually, since it's purple, I put
Yeah, my favorite color.
called Private Reserve Tanzanite, which
Nice. That's nice.
it's purple, but it leans heavily towards blue. So
Yeah.
it's almost like a royal blue, but leaning a little more towards purple though. So it's a perfect combination, and super. This is probably the smoothest pen I have in my collection. Very, very smooth. So yeah. All right, Lynn, how are you?
Hey, I'm good.
Good.
I had thought before coming back, since it's a holiday weekend, I kind of have off. But I thought whenever you guys start talking pens, I'll pull out another typewriter. Get
back on the subject.
Yeah. Even if it has to be the electric ones in my garage, I'll go get them.
That is funny.
Yeah, but it's good to be back.
Task.
Oh, good to see you.
Yeah, definitely good to see you.
I appreciated you taking the detour on the Remington, the old blind writer, the other day. But hers had a star wheel and mine doesn't. And it's really, I think it's older. So I'll show you that later on if we get the chance.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's got a very strange escapement. It's just it's very simple. So
okay.
I've been thinking maybe doing some videos of like all the questions I can't find answers for on the video selection. Be like, okay, here's this really old thing and it's got this weird escapement, and I don't know. But
yeah, the nice thing about doing it as a video is, you can show in more detail rather than just posting a picture and asking the question,
right.
With a video, you can more easily explain and demonstrate, whatever issues.
Yeah.
So
I'm also not on Facebook, which I guess is where a lot of the helps come these days. And, the old boards, the old fashioned boards, they're not real active.
Yeah. So. Yeah. We have forums at typepals.com now. There hasn't been really any activity in there, but that's okay. It's just one of the bonus features that got added with this website upgrade, but you might consider posting in there. I do want to try and promote the forums a little more, but for now I'm happy with the site and the new fancy directory. So yeah. Curry, how are you?
Hey, Curry.
Good, thanks. How are you?
Very good.
Yeah, thanks for the letter, Curry.
For Canadians on the call, and we'll have the Americans outnumbered.
Well, I got a very nice letter from Curry and I replied. I don't know how long it'll take to get to you, but.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I think I just got one letter this week. I don't know if anyone's seen one like this from Reverend Monk. So that was exciting getting that in the mail this week. So yeah, very interesting letter. So yeah, I've got a couple more that I'm getting ready to send out. But yeah, I'll watch for it, Lynn.
Oh, speaking of letters, did you get mine, Greg?
Yes, I did.
Okay. I was making sure, because I know how the United States Postal Service is lately. So yeah.
And I got William's letter. I got it on the 26th.
Oh.
So I'll be typing a response for that soon.
Cool.
So were there enough pages for you to read there to keep you busy for half an hour?
Yeah.
Hey, William.
It was a nice
morning.
paper too. I don't know what you said. It was airmail paper.
Yep.
Mm,
The original 9-pound onion skin.
wow. Nice.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to look
where do you
for
get
some
that?
onion skin.
Sorry, say again.
Where do you get the onion skin?
The paper I've got was given to me a ream of 1,000 pages.
Oh wow.
or sheets, because our neighbor was helping a friend clean out her parents' house after her mum passed away. And I came across a whole stack of envelope paper, the old original correction tape that you actually stick over the line, and a few other things. And so he knew that I was into typewriter, so I thought, well, I'll just give him to Bill.
Excellent,
Yeah.
excellent.
1,000 pages. That's why you have to write such long letters, because you have a lot of paper to go through.
Well, as more members will start receiving my letters, you'll find that I can't type a short letter. My brain gets going, the thoughts flow from my head, through my arms, through the keys, onto the paper, and then I start on one subject and then take off on a tangent or follow a rabbit trail through the woods, and then, oh, I've gone off track, so come back again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it, because it almost felt like a captain's log entry, like a kind of like through the week, like kind of I felt like I was there with you, for like the time that you were writing the letter. So I enjoyed it.
When my dad was still alive in England and I got bitten by the typewriter bug, I used to type him half a dozen letters a year, and he never did write or type back, but I always got a phone call, and he said that he could hear my voice as he was reading the pages, and could really see my personality coming through on the paper. Because when I type on a computer, it's so easy to edit as you go, and take out whole paragraphs and edit and re-edit and type and correct for grammar. Whereas on typewriter, you can't do that. You just type what comes to your mind. And yes, there have been times when I have restarted a page, which is what happened with, I think, on page 4 of yours. And then I started by going as a block, and then went to indented paragraph, I think.
Oh.
However,
you gotta change it up.
Yeah.
Very good. And you're doing well, William?
Please repeat.
You're doing well?
Yes.
Excellent.
Now, I noticed last week people called me Steamboat William. Why was that? Because of the beanie I had on?
I assume so. Well, we were getting a kick out of it. It was kind of surprising. We were definitely not expecting it.
Yeah. That's the beanie I normally wear under my motorcycle helmet. So
okay.
When I take my helmet off, I still have a covering on my head.
Okay.
I thought it was an elaborate joke of some sort, and you were just waiting for someone to figure it out. And I couldn't figure it out.
We never figured it out.
I've been riding bikes since I was 16, back in 77.
Okay.
Never could afford a car in England, so never had a car until I was 3 years old. My brother was 5. Us boys always went everywhere in the sidecar of Dad's motorbike, and Mum rode her motorbike alongside. We never had a car until I was 3. Yeah.
Wow. Excellent. Joe, how are you?
I am fine. How are you guys doing this morning?
Hey, Joe.
Good.
Good. Nice morning out here in the patio. And
It looks like it.
yeah, it's going to be a gorgeous day. Partly cloudy a little bit, but it'll be nice. So I guess the start of the Memorial Day weekend for people, although for me it's just another weekend. So a good day not to go to the mountains or the lake or whatever, because everybody else will be out there, and leave that for let the amateurs do that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Anyways. Yep.
So do you typically get Mondays off? Is that one of your off days?
Yeah, I work a compressed work week. So I work 12 or 13-hour days, but I work like 3 days on, 3 days off, and then 4 days on and 4 days off, and it alternates back and forth.
Okay.
So this is the start of my 4 days off. So
okay.
Yep.
Very good.
And I got the let's see if I can tip this down here. I got the Groma Colibri.
Ooh, nice.
Right here. Testing it out after some repairs, and I'll be probably making a video about that this week. So we'll see how it works.
Yeah. We will look forward to that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Last week I didn't make any videos at all. I just took the week off.
Oh, why not?
Of course,
Why not?
We miss you, but at the same time, we understand that, especially the way you videos, it's time consuming because you edit.
It
them
is,
properly, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was telling my wife last week I felt like I needed to do a video, but she says, "Why? Just relax and take a week off."
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, it's always a balance, right? You got to keep fresh content up there all the time and all that. So,
yeah.
Anyways, well, hopefully you guys won't be offended by my cigar here. I'm lighting it up, and luckily we don't have smell-o-vision, so we're okay.
I actually like the smell of cigars, but
yeah, it's too bad we don't have smell-o-vision for that.
Yeah.
I'd like to smell a cigar.
Maybe somebody will come up with a little module that you plug into your phone and like an app, and you can give someone an odor and it comes out of the little thing. But anyways, hey Bob.
No, smell-o-vision was a thing many years ago, and I was just thinking Greg never complains if I happen to be smoking around him, so I think it's okay.
Yeah.
That's funny. I know, Sean, you mentioned earlier something about William was talking about his head wrap. I think you guys call them toques.
What I actually had on was called a do-rag.
A do-rag.
A do-rag.
Yeah, we do properly call knitted caps toques in Canada, which is the proper word everybody in the world should use. But we understand you guys like to be different and imperial system versus metric and all that, whatever. But yeah, that was not a toque. What Bill was wearing was his do-rag. Yes.
When I was in the Navy, they issued us a wool black toque, which they called a watch cap.
Right.
And the thing about them being wool, of course, it just makes your ears itch. Just terribly itch.
Well, the Navy didn't have a habit of buying decent wool, but if you get a proper wool toque, you'll be much happier.
I'm gonna have to go to Amazon right now and order me one.
Right. Sean, you need YYC typewriter toques for everyone.
That's right.
With the big white pom-pom on the top.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Big typewriter.
And it's amazing how many people don't understand the proper spelling of toque. T-O-Q-U-E. T-O-Q-U-E.
Right.
It's a French word.
Right.
Okay.
No, I always say toque, but my dad had a girlfriend from Canada, so that's how I grew up calling it toque. And that's how I specify between that and a do-rag. And when I had shorter hair, I had to wear a do-rag under my helmet all the time. Otherwise, my hair would start itching my scalp. But now that my hair is longer, I don't have to worry so much about it. Go figure. But yeah, that was a big theme. Joe, it's funny you mentioned releasing shows so often, and I think I've got 40 audio shows for my American Roadrunner brand, the motorcycle stuff that I do. And I still get, and I haven't released a show on that in a month, and I still get fan mail once a week, right? Or twice a week.
Right. You're right. That's a good point. And I was just thinking about that the other night, that, I still get comments every day, and people still watch the videos, that the old ones I put up. So yeah, it's, but it's kind of I guess it's a work ethic that I got for myself to build the channel, is to keep putting up more videos and stuff. But it's always a balance, right, between quality versus quantity.
Yeah,
certainly.
Well, and we haven't done an Austin Typewritering podcast in over a month as well. And sometimes that's nice. I'm working on one right now. I hope to have one out either later today or tomorrow.
Yeah.
So that'll be nice. I got a really good interview with a guy.
Good.
That I'm going to put out. So that should be really exciting. And it is exciting too sometimes just to walk away. I do that in my guitar playing. I won't play guitar for a week or two and then come back to it. And it's a totally new beast. Or I'll only play bass guitar for a week and see what that does for my mandolin playing, stuff like that. I don't really get to play music too much anymore. I don't know if typing's the same way. I like to type every day. It's kind of I get itchy fingers if I don't start typing. I feel that really well. I tell you what, I went to a concert last night for the first time in a long time. And it was just in downtown Riverside here. Actually, Greg, you'll know, it was right above Back to the Grind in the building, that Raincross concert lounge that they put up a few years ago. And it wasn't a rock concert at all. It was my buddy Ty Zamora's personal birthday party. He was turning 44. Well, Ty Zamora is a rock star. So needless to say, everybody and their mother showed up to hang out with Ty on his birthday. So that was exciting. He's a bass player. He's a bass player for Alien Ant Farm. But I grew up with him. So it was a lot of fun to catch up with old friends. And I took my son who plays drums. And one of the drummers is, his name's Dan Hill. And he's my son's drum teacher. I got him to instruct my son. He's been at that for about 2 years now. And Dan was in a real popular band called Spiderworks, which I'm sure Greg remembers. They were real popular locally back in the day.
Yeah.
Them, and like they were up there with like the Voodoo Glow Skulls and Alien Ant Farm and a few other local bands that did really good. So that was a lot of fun. And the whole time people are like, so what are you up to these days? I'm like, well, I've been playing with typewriters the last few years. And they're like, what happened to motorcycles? What are these typewriters? What, so I had to admit to a lot of people that I was a nerd. That was a lot of fun. I've gotten nerdier as I've gotten older. And I just have to tell them typewriters, I won't hurt myself falling off a typewriter at 80 miles an hour. So it really is okay. I did, I have to tell Natasha, I meant to tell her last week, I put the order in for the covers, the dust covers, and I got them, and I ordered an array of color, and I knew it then. They had all the colors that you can imagine except purple.
Okay. Well, they like red or green. I'll settle.
Yeah, and then they had like a dark green. They did not have anything like a Hermes green. I'd have to do a special order of like 1,000 of those. So I might end up doing that. I have to order them in 100 blocks anyways, which isn't a big deal, but they're a few dollars each. So you're whacking a business card for.
You could charge twice as much for the Hermes ones, right?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
Hey, Sean, I was going to mention before we get off the subject of beanie caps too far. That's what we used to call them, beanie caps. The toques, right? So
yeah. Oh, that's funny. I love it.
And then if you put a pom-pom thingy on the top of it, I don't know what that is. That's like a hand knitted beanie cap, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, or an 80s or a 70s toque, depending on when you're like 6 years old. So that's why we like wearing those again up here, because it reminds us of when we had to have our mitts on a string through our arms in the winter.
Yeah.
The thing that keeps me from wearing a toque is the fact that I like wearing hoodies in the winter, just because it keeps the whole neck, head, ears, everything warmer than putting on separate, hat of some kind, earmuffs, and then a scarf. You might as well just wear a hoodie and it does it all in one shot.
When you come to Canada, you get to wear all of that together.
Plus a hoodie.
Yeah, plus the hoodie.
Yeah, I don't know how y'all do it up there. It gets really cold. It's a cold beyond my imagination. And when I ride motorcycles, Joe, I do the same thing. I've got all the stuff on. It just because you just never know.
If you guys come up our way here, we have a special weather event in Alberta called a Chinook. So a Chinook is the greatest thing that would ever happen to a minus 40-degree weather winter. Is, you know, warm air blows in from the west coast over the mountains. I don't know, 3 or 4 or 5 times a year for a few days at a time, and it relieves, if you're lucky, and it relieves. Oh no, you know, it's pretty good. It'll go from minus 30 to, you know, minus 6 in a span of 4 or 5 hours, and that's really, really nice, especially when the house is struggling to stay warm. So yeah, it's great.
Wow.
Down further south, they call that I believe they call that the Santa Ana wind for the same
Yes.
same
Yeah, we're famous for that
concept. Yeah. Or the devil wind if you're down in Arizona area, because it just comes so hot. Yeah, but when it warms up from, as Sean was saying, from minus 30 to plus 6 in 45 minutes, I've seen that happen. You get condensation and frost forming on everything. The windows in your car fog up, your defroster can't keep up.
Yeah.
A weird feeling.
Up in northern Minnesota, it's the Alberta Clipper that'll kill us.
Yep. That downwest wind.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's the 2
Wasn't
weeks
there a
of
song
minus
called
50
"The Wind
Fahrenheit.
Was Called Mariah" or something like that? Isn't that the name of one of those winds in North Africa or somewhere in Europe? Maybe, can't remember. Seems like every continent has some kind of a wind like that, you know.
Yeah.
Yes.
Joe, with your Chroma Colibri,
Yep.
could you compare that to the Olympia SF? Would that be a?
Yeah. So yeah, the SF is going to be, well, most every ultra portable is going to be bigger than the Colibri. I think the Rocket comes the closest in size. The Colibri is a little unique in the sense of the build quality. Instead of having thin sheet metal body panels, with the body that you're seeing on this machine is basically cast alloy. It's all cast alloy that's been machined. So it's really super thick and heavy gauge metal. And so, yeah, it has a build quality and a weight to it that's surprising considering how small it is. As far as the touch, though, the touch is different. Of course, I've only tried this one Colibri. I haven't tried any others, but it's kind of a soft but snappy touch. It's kind of hard to describe. It's a nice touch. I think most of the FFs that I've tried, the touch is a lot heavier. You know, it definitely feels heavier. So my problem with this machine was a bunch of little things. The main thing was skipping intermittently, and more so on a bouncy table, which is why I'm out here. This extruded metal patio table is ideal for inducing bouncing or skipping in the escapement because of the bounciness of the table. So I'm sort of testing out my fix that I did last week.
That's expanded metal, not extruded.
Yeah, expanded. Thank you. Not extruded.
Yeah.
One of those EX things with metal. Yes. Colibris are interesting. I think there's somebody that I've seen on the YouTube or the Facebook channel that collects these. So maybe somebody in Europe, but yeah, I could see the appeal of these machines. If you like ultra portables, again, I don't know the reliability of them overall, having only a sample size of one, but they're interesting machines nevertheless. I think maybe I've only had the older style SF from the late 50s, the kind of the rounded style. And it was a good machine. It did have one problem though. When you did a carriage return, the line would start a little high and then it would kind of creep down. And I think it was the line spacing ratchet gear, the teeth were worn. And I think we mentioned this a couple of weeks ago in discussing typewriter repairs here, but I think my friend Kevin had a similar issue on another typewriter, and he fixed it by taking a really small file and sharpening up the teeth of that cog, of that gear. And that seemed to fix it. So that might be a fix for that if you have that problem with an SF. But Yeah, they're similar machines, but they're different also. In the short answer.
Okay, we're ready for the long answer now, Jose. Go.
Oh yeah.
Don't hold anything back.
For the long answer, go and watch his latest video when it's once
There
it's
you
made.
go. Good answer. Good answer.
Yeah. Yes, I'm long-winded.
I'm just fighting you, Joe. We love it.
I know.
Yeah, that's what we loved about you, Joe. You can talk.
Well, it's good that you let me.
I know.
Yeah. Hey, Gregory, do you have one of those mute buttons so you can just auto mute somebody if you need to?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you just take your earplugs out. Take the earplugs out.
So, Joe, if Gregory's got that kind of power and he hasn't used it yet, that's a pretty good sign for you.
That is a good sign. I know.
Yeah.
Yes.
So since I am chewing up the airwaves here, I will say that I just opened up a new pack of this Mead multi-purpose paper and trying it out, and I like it.
Excellent.
Yep.
If you double it up, I think, Joe, I picked up some of that too. I think you really got to double it up. But boy, once you double it up, it's really nice.
Yeah, I'm using it on this Calibri doubled up, and the one problem I haven't really resolved on it is the type is a little faint, and there's no real carriage adjustment for the back and forth position of the carriage. It's pinned permanently in place, you know.
Right.
And maybe platen shrinkage has caused the a little bit too much space there. So I've just gone to using thicker backing sheet or a double sheet, like in this case. So.
Yeah, and that is a nice machine. I really like the way you described it. I was fortunate enough to get to play with that machine, a few weeks ago when I was at Joe's. It was a real treat, and it is light. I do think too it's a little lighter than a Rocket, which will save your hands over time.
Yeah,
that's like an hour-and-a-half machine, where a Rocket might be a 1 hour machine. So it's pretty
right. And then you got a slightly more functional carriage return lever, at least compared to the old Rocket that I had, right? That had hardly a lever at all.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's good stuff.
Yep.
I got a Hermes baby. Oh, I've got the Hermes Rocket in front of me right now, right? Oh, and I just.
Oh, you did.
Oh, wait, I own this machine. This machine's mine. I can drop it.
Okay.
I got the larger one, right?
Yeah. Yeah. The later one had the larger lever.
They finally got smart with that.
Yeah.
Now, do I understand that the model of rocket that Bob has there is actually a Brother 88?
Oh, good question. I don't know. You know what? I just got this one. Does it look like Brother 88 to you guys?
No, it looks like a Rocket. I think
Hermes,
the brothers
made by Hermes Precisa, Sackenburg, Western Germany, distributed in U.S. by Ballard Incorporated, 1900 Lowell Road, Linden, New Jersey.
Yeah, Ballard was the company that distributed the Bolex film cameras also. But yeah, I think those are definitely not brothers. The brothers were never that short, or diminutive in size.
Yeah, I'll have to look it up. I'm sure it's a late 60s machine. And I don't know. I'll have to did anyone else have trouble with the Typewriter database yesterday? For about an hour, I couldn't get it to work, but I never got back to it. But anyways, I'll have to see how it's doing today. Maybe Ted was just moving some stuff around. This poor machine was really dropped. You can see that crunch on the corner.
Oh,
so that's what I'm actually banging out the lid right now. One of my very small body hammer.
This was a different drop than the one you just did like 3 minutes ago.
Yeah,
it was a calibrated drop.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and it needs new feet and a few other things, but yeah, it's just been dropped and beat to heck, but it still works. So I'm hopeful. And this one I'm just gonna rebuild and give to a friend. So, and I picked this up off of a gentleman who I know he tunes into us every so often. A few weeks ago. Gosh, I wish I could remember his name. He was a real nice young man. It's so great to meet young people who are into typewriters, right? So, anywho,
yeah.
It's just really beat up.
Kelsey, how are you?
I'm doing well. Do I have my voice on?
You
Yes.
do.
Yes.
Okay, good. Yeah, I'm actually visiting my daughter right now.
Oh,
And since we're talking about portables, I repainted a Royalite for her for Christmas. And when I sent it down, we were going to come down and couldn't. And so I sent it down to her, and when she got it, it was not working. So I've actually got it naked right now. Right here.
Are we allowed naked bodies on this?
Naked
only
body.
typewriters.
So the drawband unfortunately broke, but which is just a string, but it is sticking like, oh sure, now it's not doing it. There it goes. And it's not, so even when it's not locked, it's sticking kind of right there. I don't know if anyone has advice if that can get adjusted.
It looks like it's catching on the if you look in the middle of the back,
yeah,
there's a black tab there. It looks like it's catching on that.
Yeah,
it might just need a little forming.
Yeah. No, it's actually, so the locking mechanism, and then there's like a little the metal part that's on the carriage. It seems like that it's catching on that when it's going. And I know, so I don't know if I can just form that little bar that's coming off of the carriage that locks it, or because it's like right there where it's hitting the, well, now it's doing it.
Yeah. Now, did you lock the carriage when you shipped it?
I did.
Okay, that could be what happened. Yeah. The general recommendation is on a portable or a travel typewriter, if you're shipping it, is to not lock the carriage, but to immobilize the carriage. Well, tie the carriage release to the platen knob, be that with tape or elastic band, and then immobilize the carriage with several wraps of cling wrap going horizontally around the carriage, so that it can still have a little bit of wiggle room of about a 60th of an inch or so to absorb the jolts without damaging any of the actual mechanism.
Yeah, I mean, I sent it in its case.
Yes.
And buffered the side, so I don't know how it would, the carriage moved at all, but I don't know. So it's probably just something got bent on that, is what you're thinking.
Yeah. Well, the good thing is that the escapement didn't get hurt, apparently.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Which is what the hard carriage lock protected, but the carriage lock bracket might have got bent a little bit. And that's, you might be able to just reform that, reshape it.
Okay. I'll try that. Yeah. Cause you know, it's got these little, right here, these.
Yeah.
That hold it up off of, I don't know if you can see that.
Oh yeah.
These things. So one of these was twisted, and I thought that's what it was, is it just wasn't lifting up high enough here. So one of these was twisted, so it wasn't lifting the body out of the case. But anyway, but I have to show you. I painted.
Was that when you painted to the Elder Order colors?
No, this is a different one. This one, if I can get it out. I used a color changing. So I don't know if you can see.
Ooh.
So it's green, and it's, you can't really see in here, but it kind of changes to turquoise, blues, and greens, and mermaid colors for her.
Mermaid colors, yeah.
Yeah.
Like an iridescent green.
Yeah, it's really cool. Out in the sun, it really changes colors. But I left the thing in the back. Yeah.
Nicely
and then I was
done.
able to pop that. We've got a guy that popped the foil out without breaking it, so I could actually do it right. So, okay, cool. So that's why I was thinking maybe it was just that. Good. When you guys were talking about paper, I watched that video that Joe did, and this thick 24-pound, the, what was it? The
Bathworth.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I like that. It's really thick. Yeah. It's really thick. Yeah, that's super nice. So yeah, that's basically what's going on here. Yeah, and actually, Bob might enjoy this. This is their garage. I don't know if you can see.
Oh yeah.
And William.
There you go.
There you go.
I like how obviously 2 of them work and 2 of them are projects. I can see that from here, and there's a
Is that right?
behind.
Yeah, I have no idea. Well, and then my daughter, she's got their little one there. I don't know if you can see that one on the end.
Yeah. So clean too. So well done.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah.
I have motorcycles all over my backyard, and well, they're in 2 carports. Gregory's been here. I mean, it's just motorcycles everywhere. So that's really well done.
Yeah.
Good for you. And that Royal turned out really pretty, by the way. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. That was really fun because it was a little bit beat up and, just that drab gray. And I thought, why not? Why not?
No, I've got one I'm doing right now, actually, and I've got it out to the artist. And the artist called me and was like, "Is there a bottom?" And the bottom's right here in front of me. I forgot to give her the bottom.
Oh yeah.
But she's a motorcycle artist, and that's been exciting. A lot of motorcycle painters and stuff. They're like, "Oh, I could paint a typewriter. Give me a typewriter."
Yeah,
so
right.
This woman a small Royal light like that, and we'll see. It's a great Royal light, but I need to give her the bottom so she can paint the bottom too. So
yeah, because I did the bottom in black.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, and then with the one that I did like the El Dorado, I actually did the gold on the inside. So when you look down through the keys, the bottom, for the inside is gold, and then I've got the black on the back. So yeah, kind of fun.
Yeah, that probably looks really good with the gray. It's a gray key machine, right? The keys are gray.
Yeah, it's that kind of creamy color,
yeah.
that white, but it's not really white.
Yeah, no, good for you. I'm really excited having fun with colors and stuff like that because I've never done that. My motorcycles are all beat up and ugly. I don't care. Anyways, it's a lot of fun to explore on typewriters because they're actually in your hands, and any paint you do to them is going to last a while. It's not going to be out in the elements. So I'm having a lot of fun playing with that. I wish I was more artistic. I can paint just fine. I can paint anything a solid color. I paint the shed every spring, right? I mean, it's not. This is a new thing. Yeah. I forgot to tell everybody last week. I figured out Kelsey and I have the same birthday. I think she's maybe 10 or 15 years younger than me, but we share the same birthday. So that was pretty exciting.
Well, and I found out too. Oh goodness, who is it? There was somebody else that's born on her birthday. Oh goodness, the Hawkins, Stephen Hawkins.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I knew that.
I'd forgotten about that.
I love it when people ask me my birthday and I just name off famous people and they're like, I'm like, you really should Google it or know this. This is important stuff. My birthday is that important.
But Elvis, David Bowie, Stephen Hawking, come on.
Right. This is good stuff. Yeah, that was always when I was a kid. My good Catholic grandmother, God rest her soul, she had a velvet painting of Elvis that sat at the same level as a picture of the Pope. And this was big controversy in her hallway in Independence, Missouri. Friends would come over and go, "Are you crazy?" And she'd say, "Well, no, my first grandson has the same birthday as Elvis Presley, so this is okay." And it was just the most annoying velvet print of Elvis Presley you could ever imagine. I'm sure my aunt still has it, but anyway.
Those are worth a lot of money now.
Yeah. Talking about painting typewriters, I've got a rather beat up Letra 22, which the ribbon covers a different color to the main body. And I was actually saw an advert on a local Kijiji about a fellow in Edmonton who does small project painting specifically on motorbikes. And so I messaged him about doing the paint job on this 22. He said, "Well, being aluminum, it'll take a different prep job, but yes, I can definitely do it." And so the color that I really like is 2006 Mazda Spirited Green Metallic. That's a lovely bright. That's a lovely bright green metallic. I've got my 79 XS400 painted that color. It's nice and bright.
As I remember, William, when I was shopping around for a Mazda 2 a few years ago, the smallest Mazda they only made it in like 4 colors, and that green you mentioned was one of them. Yep. And I got the silver. I didn't want the bright green, but yeah.
So you know the color then, right?
Yeah.
And speaking of birthdays, the oldest cat we have right now, he came to us as a kitten with the name Wally, but he was born on November 30th, which of course is Churchill's birthday. And my wife says, he can't be Wally if he's born on Churchill's birthday. He has to be Winston.
That's a great name for a cat.
Hey, since I'm interjecting here,
yeah,
I was going to change the subject, and I hope you guys don't mind. But I was last week on my weekend last week. I went to John Lewis's typewriter repair shop here in Albuquerque. I met my friend Bill Teft over there, and he has a bunch of typewriters laid out on the table that he's fixed up and he's selling. And so we had about a 2-hour visit, and I sat down and tried out a bunch of different typewriters, and I've had this piece of paper folded up in my back pocket for a couple of days. But so I got to test a bunch of typewriters, and I think the one that had the best touch was the Smith Corona Sterling from 1945. It just was a very, very light touch with a dark imprint, and the keyboard worked really well. And then the position of the shift lock key didn't interfere with the A. It was like offset and down a little bit. But the one that I really like the best, and I'm hoping that my camera picks it up next to my finger here, is an Optima Super. And look at that typeface, if you guys can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's an interesting typewriter, not very common around here. It happens to be kind of a baby poop brown kind of a color. But
East Germans love those crappy colors. Yeah,
it's really snappy and firm, but not as hard as an Olympia. And I'm really interested in that machine. I'm thinking about maybe going back and asking John to save it for me. And but it does have one issue that he needs to work on, which is the shift lock is in a different position than the shift, right? But other than that, it's a really cool machine. And I thought the typeface was rather unique also, and really dark imprint. So
yeah, that's Congress for Olympia, that's Imperial for other German and European companies. It was called Imperial. And then Bodoni for Olivetti. It's a great typeface because it just stands out and pop. I love it.
Yeah.
Definitely get
I'm always,
SM3 has
I'm always amazed at you guys that know the typefaces more than I do. That's just interesting, you know.
I've got a pen in my pocket here. I got tape on my glasses.
Is it a carriage shift or a?
It is I think it is a segment shift. Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah.
That's what's been holding me back from those is that pinky just gets tired after a lot of writing.
Just do what we do.
Yeah, I guess I can't do it.
I did write down in this last paragraph, only used by a little old lady from Berlin.
Oh my
So, I don't know.
On Sundays.
On Sundays, yes, exactly.
That's funny. That's her letter writing day.
Yeah.
So that's the problem when you want to reduce your collection, but you go to John Lewis's shop, and now it's another machine is itching to be bought. Well, here's the thing, right? You can buy it's hard to find that particular model around here, and even on eBay may be hard. And then getting it shipped safely is always an issue, right? Yeah. Not only from eBay, but from, like Shop Goodwill or whatever. And then the condition of it would be iffy. Paying a few $100s more and getting something that's been totally gone over by a professional, though, is sometimes worth it if you have the disposable income. You just don't have to worry about the mechanics of it, and it comes with a warranty, that he puts on it. So something to think about.
Helping support,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Right. Helping to support his business and the fact that he's been fixing typewriters for almost 60 years. So yeah.
So we have a few people in the comments on YouTube. Let's see. We have Mark. He says, "Hi guys." Patty Barnett says, "Morning, everyone." And then Will Pollard says, D&D say they all work. I'm not sure what that was in reference to.
The motorcycles.
The motorcycles, okay.
Yeah.
And two
Apparently
are
they all work.
Okay, 2 are Mad Max themed. I like that. Very cool. And hello to Vito.
Hey everyone, how you guys doing today?
Very good. How about you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Excellent, excellent.
It's funny, Joe Van Cleve, that typeface that you had. I bought an SM3 originally, right? And I absolutely love it. And I can never get rid of it. But then I acquired another one, and it had that typeface, and I didn't know what it was. I thought it was kind of cool, but it squeaked a little bit in the carriage, so I decided to get rid of it instead of keeping it. Every time I hear that typeface, I just kick myself because I had no idea what it was.
And now you regret getting rid of it, or?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
About it.
Yeah.
That's the reason I have 2 SM3s, I guess.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we all tend to have those regrets of typewriters we've gotten. And yeah.
Oddly enough, I think the letter of 22s, I've had 3 of them over the years, and I don't have any right now, and I don't regret getting rid of them. They're nice typewriters. Some people like them. I just enjoyed other typewriters better. You know what I mean? So, but it was just me.
I was just watching a documentary about Gore Vidal, and I saw his typewriter, and it was a letter 35. So I've had this kind of been on the hunt for a letter 35. That's not very easy to find, actually. They're very cool looking, but anyone want to talk me out of it?
Well, I mean, my experience with Olivetti's is very limited. Limited basically to the, well, I did have the, is it the Studio 44 that's Olivetti?
Yeah.
I had that one and I got rid of it. And then the one I still have and am going to get rid of is the Lettera 25, which, I mean, it works. It's just not a fun typewriter, and I've talked about it before. But
yeah, is that closer more to the Studio 45? The 25, I think it's a later model from the Lettera 22s and 32s, I think.
I don't know. It's just boxy and this
kind of plasticky, or
very plasticky.
Yeah. See, I had 3 Lettera 22s, and I actually like the touch on them. They were okay. It's just that at the time I owned them, they all 3 skipped, and getting to the escapement on those is almost impossible without taking the carriage off because of the tabulator rack was just hiding everything. Then I had a Olivetti Underwood 21, which is the same as the Studio 44. And actually I liked it. It was just big and I wasn't using it as much. But the Studio 45, that turquoise blue one I had, that was a really, I didn't like the touch on that at all. I tried to make it better, but I never could. And it just, it was kind of awful feeling. So gave it away.
Yeah.
I heard somewhere that it's really hit or miss with like the Lettera 22 and stuff, because I had a Lettera 22. I think you guys all seen it. It came to me in pieces, and I kind of Illuma welded it back together and used, Bondo and all kinds of stuff to fix it up. But it had a really spongy key feel. Like I didn't like it. It was like I was mashing onto sponges. But then I got like the Studio 44, and I love that thing.
Yeah.
And now I have a Lettera 31, and it's okay too. Like it's not the greatest. So I think it just really is hit or miss. But I've heard people say that about Lettera 22s too. And then they're like, oh, but then I got this one and I love it. So I feel like it's hit or miss with those machines. I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, it's sort of like the keys feel kind of like almost like no resistance at first, almost like looseness. And then when they do hit, there's a sponginess, and then when it bottoms out, it kind of doesn't feel good on your fingers, So it's kind of simultaneously spongy and loose and hard at the same time.
Like when your brakes aren't working?
Yeah,
Take your break.
exactly. That's what it feels like.
Oh man.
The thing that really killed me about this, though, is that through the documentary, it had early pictures of him with his typewriter, and it was the same typewriter all the way through. I mean, he wrote all these books on this crazy typewriter, but he did live in Italy, so maybe that was the thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And the 35 is a very beautiful structurally. I mean, but
well, I guess maybe if this is an oversimplification, but to state that with a lot of Italian engineering, it often is style and design over the mechanics of it. I have a guy I knew that had Ducati motorcycles, right? And he loved racing these around and zipping around in the mountain turns. But the problem with them was they kept the, I think the alternator or whatever, the magneto kind of generator thing, it kept burning out because it wasn't designed for the altitude. The thin air, it wouldn't cool as well, you know, and I guess it was designed for the Italian climate rather than the southwestern US high desert. Anyways. Yeah, that's certainly a broad brush I just painted, by the way, but oh well. Sorry about that.
It's allowed. Ted, how are you?
I am fine. How are you?
Excellent.
I agree with the letter of 22s, by the way. They are very hit and miss. And I've encountered two that I liked as far as the touch, but they were both the round key kind, the earlier 50s ones.
Yes.
I have yet to meet a square key letter of 22 that I like, and that includes the one that I have tried for years to get in typing condition, but it's just it's just.
Do you have a 35?
Yeah, I did. I put my letter of 32 inside the shell, and put the 35 inside a 25 shell and sold it. So
wow.
There's a lot of shell swapping. Yeah. Well, I made the letter of 25 better by putting a letter of 35 inside of it, but
I don't know if it's any accurate comparison, but I have the Olivetti Ventura, which I guess is like the letter of 32, and I love it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the letter of 32 is fine. I don't love them, but I've got one.
A little earlier on, we were talking about different kinds of headgear, and this here, that's a toque.
There we go.
That is a proper knitted toque.
Canadian top hat.
Yes. And this is kind of torn.
It's like a bicycling helmet.
Yeah.
Hat.
That is a welder's beanie. That's a beanie in its trueness. I know
I feel like it should have one of those propellers on.
Yep.
Yeah.
Precisely. And this one here, this is a do-rag with the ties in the back.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
And then of course you get the promotional toques from the 70s. The
International Harvester.
Yeah, International Harvester. And then of course this one here is none of the above.
Elf hat.
I wear this one from December the 1st to December the 24th, just for the fun of it.
Oh man, that is funny.
Yeah, and then my mom used to make these beanies out of denim way back in the 1980s. I made a whole bunch of them for myself and for friends, and all got them. This is a pretty heavy denim. It's actually this one was made in the mid 1980s, and it's still holding up. So
nice,
very cool, William. Hey Ted, am I to understand that you recently got a Colibri?
I thought. Oh no, I've had one for a long time.
Okay. I thought I saw a blog article or some mention you made recently about a Colibri.
Yeah,
it was in your little attaché case, right? Is that what it was?
I completely failed to light up the Alpha Smart 3000 from the inside. Well, I succeeded at that, but that made it impossible to see the screen and keyboard. So I took those lights and I put them inside the attaché case for my Colibri. So now I have a light up battery powered overhead light for the Colibri in its briefcase.
Very nice.
Maybe you could show us here in a little bit. That's
yeah, I could do that.
That's a cool solution, having a little attaché case, because they are so low profile.
Well, yeah, when I got that machine, it came with a case that basically had no zipper and had no top. It was it was held together with old stickers from 1964.
The best kind of stickers
from a press club, which was fine, but I wanted to preserve those, and the case itself actually didn't do anything to protect the typewriter. So I found an alternate solution at Goodwill in the form of a briefcase with one of those fold down tables, writing tables.
Oh,
and
I
so,
just seen that post today. Yeah.
Yeah, so that actually fits if you have the kind with the accordion bottom that'll unsnap and lets you put a little more depth in the bottom, a Colibri will fit perfectly in those with a little bit of side padding. And so that's what I did. I built a briefcase that holds the Colibri, has a little green silk on the inside and foam to protect it, and has all my paper slots and pen slots and now an overhead light.
Wow.
I'll have to pull out here. I'll get dump the Triumph. Wow, why is that so large? Oh, I know why. Because
so Gregory, I was going to tell you that I actually did the typing prompt last night.
Ooh, excellent.
Yeah. We're not necessarily ready for it, but whenever we are, I can read mine.
Excellent. And it looks like William has one and I have mine.
There we go. That's a little better. Let's see.
While Ted's getting set up, Mike, how are you?
I'm doing just fine, thanks.
Good.
Yeah, I'm down here in the garage. I figured maybe I'd try to get some work done while I'm talking here. So I've got the
SG3.
SG, yeah, the SG on here.
Nice.
So I'm not sure whether I'm going to work on that or do some work on the Smith Corona Silent. That's a little sticky. So this one, I don't know if you can see this, but this is the right margin stop, and it's for some reason it's the right margin stop is made out of this really bad pot metal, which is crumbled.
Oh.
The left margin stop is steel, and of course it's in great shape.
Wow.
So, and I think I can file it out of some aluminum bar stock. I don't know how efficient that's going to be, but I'm trying to figure out. If I had a 3D printer, I could make one, but it's not it's hard to justify a 3D printer for just that part. So.
Yeah.
I've got an SG1 that was in a car accident. I might be able to just send you something.
Oh, okay. Yeah. The part's very fragile, so
it does make sense that the left margin stop would be much tougher than the right, because you hit the left every time you turn.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't. But you should hardly ever hit the right margin top, because you should be returning before you hit the stop.
That's true.
After the bell goes.
Yeah,
that's a very good point.
Well, this also works the bell too. So.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure I can rig something up to just sort of hit the bell and not really be a movable margin stop, but that's So anyway, that's a project.
Nice.
And I mean, you may kick me out of this club, but I saw a bunch of, we were antique shop and saw a bunch of typewriters, didn't buy one. So, I had, various reasons, some of which was, well, I already have one of those and mine's better.
Yeah.
And, or they were just, yeah, I'd pay $20 for that, but not 150.
Yeah.
So those kinds of things.
Yeah.
So I'm still out there looking. But I like to buy stuff in the wild.
It never hurts to look.
No. I like to buy stuff in the wild. I mean, I just heard so many horror stories about eBay shipment of heavy things like that. So I just, whenever I can find them, I do. But and I've gotten a few. This being one of the more recent ones. Other than that, I bought a couple of type wheels and a couple of ribbons for my electronic typewriter.
Oh, okay.
The Smith Corona 450. I saw your video on the 480, which was interesting.
Nice.
Greg's video.
Very good.
So anyway, that's what I'm up to here, and the one I like typing on the most is the Royal FP, which is just a rock, and it's just so nice to type on.
I love the FP.
Get out of the way. Plus, of course, you can't move it around a lot, so it's always out.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah. I do have a Royal FP, and then on my desk right now is the Royal 440, which is the same size. So the FP is much nicer, but we
don't
with
tell us.
What's that?
No, we don't tell us.
Well, the FP, it just has much more character to it. So yeah. The 440, it types actually very well, but it's very bland to look at.
Reflective
like
of
a
its times.
Swoopy case one?
What's that?
Is that kind of the one with kind of the rounded swoopy case?
No, you're thinking of the Empress.
Okay. I saw one of those too,
monster.
But my role right now is to try to avoid full-size machines because I have too many of them and run out of space for them.
Yeah. Really, I have no business having any standards, but I have a few. Or
it sure is nice having a good one though, because they type so well.
Yeah, they're really nice. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I question why I got the SG because it's got the same side face as the other one, but it was there and looked interesting.
So Ted, did I see you set up the Colibri there? And
you did.
And it's missing the Colibri badge on the right side of the ribbon cover.
I took it off actually. I was trying to make a replica of it, and
oh, okay.
It's too darn thin, so I just never got around to putting it back on.
I see.
And I kind of like it that way. I might just put a sticker over it, over the holes.
So is your keyboard the same as mine? You have an exclamation mark and a degree symbol where the one key would be. Okay.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Right next to whatever button this is.
That's the margin release.
Yes, but it locks.
Mine doesn't.
Yeah, if you push it down and forward, it'll lock.
Yeah. Mine doesn't.
And I still haven't figured out why. Because all it does.
That's if you want to permanently remove your margins.
Yeah, that it does do that. I'm not really sure why you'd want that, but
So you never have to return the carriage. You can just keep writing and writing and writing. And writing.
Just in one little square.
Yeah.
Doesn't quite work that way, but.
So how does your machine work? Pretty good.
Really good. I've actually, spent the past few years working on it, and of course, I put fresh feet on it. So
nice.
Got
Hermes green.
Hermes green feet,
of course,
to go with the not Hermes green typewriter.
Yep.
But yeah, it works really good. I've had to do quite a bit of work on it because the state of the case kind of indicated what was inside. It was pretty rough. Like you can actually see the plastic buttons are kind of melted. It's been in the heat. It's been, bounced around and scratched up, and it was a little rusty that I had to pull rust off of it. And
so maybe it was actually hidden under the floorboards of a kitchen in East Germany.
It could have been, except it's an American keyboard.
Okay. The lives of others, or whatever that
the lives
was.
of someone.
Yes.
No, it was owned by a newspaper journalist in the '60s who got it for free from a promotion that the Colibri importer in the U.S. was doing, where they actually sent them out for free to newspaper reporters. And so he used it for a while and then threw it in a closet and probably in his garage, and it got banged up quite a bit. And then he gave it to Bill over at Mesa Typewriter Exchange, and I was able to get it from him because it was not really in the kind of condition that he would want to sell it cosmetically, and and as far as the melted buttons and stuff.
Yeah. So in your line selector switch on the upper left of the carriage, it says 1 and 2 on yours. Is it printed 1 and 2?
Mine is not printed, actually. It just has it has the little button or the little switch down here.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have any numbers printed on it.
Okay, so mine says 1 and 2, but it's actually 1 and 1.5. And again, this is like a typical thing I see on a lot of European ultra portables. Because the one position is 2 half spaces, 2 clicks or half lines. So that in the second position is 3 clicks, which is a 1 space and a half or a line and a half, I should say.
So yours doesn't have 4 positions?
Of the lines, actually, no, it just has 2. It just goes between 1 and 2.
Oh, mine has a down position, which is carriage lock, 1, and then the second one, actually it has 5.
Oh my!
Yeah, mine doesn't have any carriage lock at all. The carriage lock on mine is a collar around the left platen knob that you have to twist.
Well, that's actually the line release. Yeah,
that's the line release. You're right. Okay, so yeah, my line spacing thing is just 1 and 2, and no additional positions unless it's broken or something, But that's
mine goes down for the carriage release, and then 1.
See, okay,
2.
So yours is
3,
different.
and
Let
4.
me take a look at mine here, because mine looks totally different than yours. See, mine is up on top.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I don't have that window.
Yeah. And it's printed 1 and 2, but it's actually 1 and 1.5.
Mm-hmm.
So
interesting. Yeah. Well, this is a Colibri N.
Oh, okay. So that's a different model. Okay.
Yeah. It's kind of the down cost model.
Okay.
The cheaper one. No, I don't know why I'd have more line space position.
Maybe it's the newer model that had more features.
It was a newer model. It was the last of the line, basically, starting in 1960 or 61.
Okay.
And they ran until 1964.
Okay, yeah, mine was probably the earlier version. So.
Mm-hmm. Oh, what kind of feet do you have on yours? Are they the thick kind or the thin?
Let's see. Can you see that?
Let me add you real quick.
Yeah, let me. Yeah,
there we go.
Oh, put them back on. I didn't see it. Put them on.
He should be on.
No, I see you.
You see me?
Yes. You got yourself focused.
I see your feet.
See both of you.
Your top-of the feet.
Yeah. So the metal collar above the feet is chromed on the outside edge of them.
Mm-hmm.
You can see the chrome finish maybe. And on the inside, it's not chromed.
Okay, you got the thin feet.
The thin feet.
That's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
I have replacements for those, by the way.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
In mint green?
No, not anymore. I have. I think they're in black.
Okay. No, these are in fairly good shape, actually.
Have you ever tried to take those feet off?
Yeah, I've had it off repeatedly.
Have you noticed how many parts are inside those feet? When you get them completely apart?
Yeah, there's actually a metal inner spacer, like a spring actually on the front 2 feet has a spring. Mm-hmm. The posts in the base of the case has a spring post. It's like a spring clip.
Yeah.
To lock the typewriter in, and it's kind of complicated.
It actually has like little metal pipes where the screws go too inside the rubber.
Oh yeah.
So there's like 6 pieces to each one of those feet.
And then on my machine, the back 2 feet, underneath the bottom plate is 2 washers, 2 little washers that keeps the back plate spaced down a little bit away from the typewriter, I guess, for some reason.
Yeah,
They look original, but I don't know if they
put
are.
a lot of cost into those feet.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of feet, anybody got a good line on feet for this Hermes Rocket? These square jobbers?
I may pretty soon, because I got a request from what's his name up in Colorado. There's a typewriter shop owner in Colorado that buys feet from me, and he's sending me some originals that I can cast. So I should have those feet available within maybe a month.
All right, I'll bug you then. That'd be great.
So there will be a line for those.
All right, thank you, Monk. That's really cool.
So Ted, can you show us your little LED light that's in your briefcase? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just curious.
Let's see. I don't know if, well, I should probably just point the camera at it. Let's see. That's upside down. There we go. So here we got a battery pack.
Nice.
And then I can switch that on, and you've got lights.
Wow.
Let there be light. And pen holders, little
pen holders. I got
pouches for paper.
Got all my correction tapes and screwdriver for
So could you see yourself going in a coffee shop with that rig there, the whole thing?
I could if I trusted coffee shops.
Yeah.
Do you trust coffee shops? That's the next question.
At the moment, not really. No. But maybe.
Well,
soon.
you have a light on it, so I think you could go to a dark, secluded bar, right?
I could.
would make more sense.
I could.
Or a back alley.
A back alley.
Hey, can I repair your typewriter for you?
What?
Backalleycolibri.com.
Yeah, you see the scratches on this thing? It's been pretty well used.
That's a great backstory.
Flexible.
I like them rough.
Yeah.
And you like your typewriters that way.
Are those lights just those flexible strip LED lights?
Yeah,
that you get in a roll?
I got that on Amazon. It came like there's 60 lights to a roll.
Okay.
It's powered by three AA batteries in a little box, and I think I paid $12 for two of them. And I just cut off, I think, 7 or 8 lights, because you can cut them on a line at each light, so you can select however many you want. And even the ones you don't end up using, you can strip the ends and resolder new wires onto it and power it with something else, like a power brick or another battery box.
So you don't need any other interfacing or anything like that?
Nope, it has sticky stuff on the back.
Oh, good.
So you can just stick it wherever you want it. And I used stick-on Velcro tape for the battery box to secure it to the inside the lid.
So it's powered by 3 volts, roughly?
I think it's like 5 volts. It'll take up to 6 volts.
Okay.
So 4.5, I think, is what it's what 3 AA batteries will do.
Yeah, 3. Okay.
I think each one of the LEDs pulls about 50 milliamps because it's 3 volts for the entire strip of 60. So if you cut it down to like 6 or 7 or 8 LEDs, that battery pack will probably last nearly forever, because that's about what a Neo draws in power.
Yeah, I was trying to remember. It's been a long time since I measured the reverse bias voltage on an LED. I don't remember what it was, but I think it's 2.8 or 3 volts, I thought, or something like that. Anyway.
Well, maybe back then, but the new ones are really low power.
The reason why I was curious is they might have an internal resistor in series with them. To each LED.
Each one is a circuit, and each one has a resistor on it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
So that's how you can cut them, and it doesn't, cut power.
Burn them up.
Strip.
Yeah.
So they're all in parallel then?
Yes.
Okay. They're not like the old Christmas lights where one goes out, the other go out.
Not at all. You can take scissors anywhere to the strip as long as it's at one of the cut lines.
Yep. Yeah.
And the whole strip will still work after that. Cut it to
Hey,
any
Ted.
size you want.
It just doesn't seem traditional Christmas unless you're out there in the cold trying to figure out which light bulb it is that's burnt out. With your beanie, oh, I'm sorry, your toque on.
Yeah. Vito, did you have a question?
Yeah, Ted, sorry, this is a little different than what we're talking about, but I just bought your book, the Typewriter Repair Bible, and I'm hoping that it's like a Haynes auto repair manual, because I have a Royal Aristocrat, like a late 50s, that has a broken escapement. And Typewriter Justice and Dwayne from Phoenix Typewriter have both told me that that's going to be one of the most hardest repairs I've ever done. And I'm hoping that your book would help me, but I haven't got it yet. So since you're here, I might as well just ask, is it, should I wait for that or should I just give up now?
If you're okay, what level do you think you are as far as typewriter repair or mechanical kind of guy?
I fix everything on my cars. So
okay,
I've been able to translate that to typewriters. There hasn't been anything that I haven't been able to fix yet, except I've never tried an escapement. But I hear horror stories, and I don't know if that's just because the person who did it had zero experience with anything mechanical or what the case may be. But
now what exactly is broken on the escapement? Are you talking like a broken
star wheel
or star wheel? Okay. You should not have much of a problem with that because the star wheel's right there.
Getting the carriage off right is the big challenge, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, you're gonna want to look up Lucas Duell. He has a video on building a little tool that you use to get the ball bearings for the carriage with the stars on them. You slip those in there, and it allows you to put the bearings back into the tracks for the carriage when you're doing that, because otherwise, if you don't have a tool, it's very, very difficult to do.
You can do it, but it's not fun.
Yeah, it's quite difficult.
He has a YouTube video on how to do that in his YouTube channel.
So he shows you how to build the tool, and you'll want to look that up, especially if you're pulling the carriage off. As far as the star wheel, I'm pretty sure that's just something you can pull off and replace. But do you have a replacement?
Yeah, I do. Yep, I was lucky to find one. So
is it the right pitch?
Yep, 12 CPI.
Okay. All right, then you should be set.
Cool. Awesome.
You should have very little problems.
Great. Yeah, because I was waiting for your book before I gave up, and I'm hoping that it would just be an easy, like I seen Dwayne, he had an Erica or something, and it was like 2 bolts and the carriage was off. I was hoping it would be easy. But
taking off the Royal Portable carriage is a little more complex than that. It's fraught with pieces falling everywhere, so make sure you keep it in a box so that your little ball bearings and stuff don't fall out. Other than that, I mean, the carriage is probably the most difficult part of the whole job, is getting the carriage off and on. So be careful with that. And I think the star wheel is probably a much easier job than the carriage.
And never give up until after you've bought Ted's book.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
I have bought it. It's in the mail, but I just I was waiting to try the repair until I got that. But
yeah.
Speaking
of which, we've got the Royalite Bible.
Yes, I'm very excited about that.
And it's available right now. So
I just ordered your stuff. I would have. Oh well.
Oh, it's a hardbound book.
Right.
Wow.
This is the only one that's hardbound because it didn't give me the option to coil bound it when I ordered my proof copy. But the one that's available now is coil bound. But I was thinking, I don't know, does anybody want a one of a kind?
I'll take it.
Perfect.
Yeah. I've got like 3 Royal.
And I can even sign it. I know someone who knows there was someone who was interested.
We could
in
have
having
a giveaway. We could hold a contest.
Anyway, so that one's available.
Very nice.
You can
get it. If the artist signs it, it's worth more, Ted.
Yeah.
Well, and it's a one of a kind with the perfect cover.
Yeah.
So.
Does it cover the 64 too? The Royalite 64?
Yes, it covers the entire range from the 1954 to all the way up till 19 69, I think.
Yeah.
And they have the 427 in it.
Oh, wow.
Oh, mine had a 454, so.
Yeah, of course.
But,
It's all about cubic inches, eh?
Yep.
Well,
I'll come back to that.
When you got a station wagon, yeah, definitely you want a 454.
Oh, yeah.
There's no replacement for displacement.
Yep. Anyway, so that's it. That's my news.
Excellent. That's very good news.
Yeah, that is.
And I made a video that I actually talked in.
I know.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you need to check my channel because I actually talked in a video.
You had to edit a video, right?
Yeah, I showed how to wire up the printer port on an AlphaSmart Neo so that it outputs power. So you can plug in one of those little gooseneck lamps. Overhead light.
I will have to watch that.
So there's another educational video, and I actually talk on it because I know you guys complained bitterly about my videos, and
I wouldn't say bitterly. Okay, so this reminds me, talking about lights. I was thinking about, LED flashlights, right? They're nice and bright these days. Does anybody have a line on a good, like a gooseneck holder for an LED flashlight that you could clip to your desk or something where you can put it right down on the typewriter but still use both hands to work on the machine, and battery powered kind of thing,
Well, you see book lights, which are basically the same thing. It's got its own built-in.
But I'm thinking something
flashlight.
more. The book lights usually have the tiny little kind of watch battery things or whatever. Some of the new ones, I guess, are rechargeable. But I'm thinking more along the lines of a really high-powered kind of a LED flashlight thing that has a holder that you could, a gooseneck adjustable holder that you could get down onto on the work.
You almost need like a microphone stand.
Like a microphone stand, exactly. Yeah. So I should go to B&H Photo and buy a $1,000 microphone stand.
Or I wonder, like a phone stand, some of those phone stands that are, I don't know if that would work.
Yeah, they have them. They have microphone, actually a microphone with a clip, like a spring clip that holds the microphone. Would be perfect for that.
Yeah.
I've seen those. I mean, I've worked with those.
I know you don't actually want to use a flashlight. You're looking at one of those high power green lasers. You're going to try to weld inside your typewriter with that.
Yeah, no, you don't want to be using that. With
my
laser
daughter's
goggles.
husband, he paints thing. And anyway, he's got a LED that's a crook neck that's adjustable. It's really nice. But you have to plug it in. I don't know if you'd want.
Yeah, I would almost like to be rechargeable or something portable. So I just want everything. I'm not satisfied with just.
All he wants is everything.
That's all. Is that too much to ask?
Yeah.
It's George Carlin said, "You can't have everything. Where would you put it?"
Everywhere.
Everywhere. Yeah.
Build a house out of your stuff.
That sounds like what I have now.
Yeah.
Behold my stuff.
That's right.
Now I'm having a total senior moment. Eric Tidd, have we said hi to you yet?
Not yet. That's okay.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, Eric.
Anything new in your world?
Not a whole lot. Got a great letter from Natasha this week on Old Hotel Stationery.
I know, yeah.
So it was wonderful.
Excellent.
And Natasha, you never cease to amaze me. There's plenty to write about back to you because we've got so much in common.
Another thing we have in common too, Eric. You see that your picture in the back, that cognac.
Yeah.
I was cleaning out my garage, and I still have that picture. That's picture right there with the lady dancing in the cognac.
Yeah. Right on.
I had an old house that was built back in like 1912. And it was beautiful. It was on my wall for so many years. And when I saw that, I was like, oh, I miss my house. But Yeah, I was like, man, that's cool.
Yeah, far out.
Excellent.
Well, Natasha, I have a letter in my Hermes, let's say in my Olympia B12 right now on its 3rd page, and that'll be hopefully going to you next week, or
I'm happy to hear that.
Or later on this week.
And you'll be getting some old stationery from me.
Cool.
Yes, sir.
You know, it's funny. I try to get stationery from every hotel I stay at. I got a whole drawer full of, you know, from the 90s up, but it's harder and harder and harder to get these days. The hotels just don't have it. It's like matchbooks and swizzle sticks. It's just gone.
Or if they have them, they don't say anything. They're just bland.
Yeah.
Blank.
Well, I guess hotels expect everybody to be using iPads and iPhones and
exactly
and laptops.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Someone needs to open a hotel that has not only hotel stationery but a typewriter in every room.
There you go.
Yeah.
Bolted
Sounds
down.
like a new
though.
letterhead for Bill to make.
Down, yeah, exactly.
I seem to think there was a motel out by Death Valley or somewhere in California, maybe your way, Gregory, somewhere, but it had a typewriter in every room. I seem to remember seeing a story about that a few years ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was in Joshua Tree.
Oh,
was it? Okay.
Yeah, they had the typewriter in, and the lady would set up it's a bed and breakfast, basically. And she would put typewriters everywhere. I think it's real clever. I'm actually looking forward, you know, coming from the motorcycle world, I've set up camping retreats, for lack of a better term, that are kind of similar. And I don't always like to use the word retreat, but, you know, camping themes. I think that'd be a lot of fun to do with typewriters, you know, where I get a big place and it's somewhere we can all cohort for the weekend. You know, and rooms covered and food's covered, and you can just get away and, you know, converse on something typewriter-esque. And there'll probably be themes. I think a big theme would be teaching people how to write their own autobiography, maybe. And I don't want to say teaching, but instructing in that regard. It'd be a lot of fun, too, to get, you know, special guests like Gregory or Mr. Joe Van Cleve, or, you know, who knows, right? I think these will be the exciting things in the near future. I know I'm setting up with my buddy Aaron in LA in the downtown art district. We're setting up a bunch of events this summer. So that'll be exciting. We're meeting next week about it to get all the dates finalized, but that's when I'm calling y'all and asking you to come to LA. So we'll have a really good time with it. But no, I think that'd be really neat to get together with a bunch of people in one place, only to realize you just want to leave each other alone so you can go type, right?
So, Bob, do you remember one of those Dirty Harry Clint Eastwood movies from the 70s? And it had some Hells Angels motorcycle gang in the movie. Anyways, that would be funny to remake that movie with a typewriter gang instead.
Right. And they're all like on bicycles with their typewriters over their shoulders.
Exactly.
Yeah. These are themes. Well, I think I'm a big fan of anytime I can get away and retreat. I love the weekend races. That's why I got into little bike racing. And what I do is I take my little Honda Rebel and I put it on a trailer, and then I put that trailer behind my Goldwing. So I'm on my really big Goldwing, and I've got this little motorcycle behind me, and I travel somewhere, and then I take the little motorcycle, my little Honda Rebel, and I race it around. But it's like a whole weekend retreat. Everything's inclusive and paid for, and it's usually, you know, a few $100s. It's great. I really enjoy that. So I'd love to do something like that with typewriters that can instruct people, get people into typewriters. Here's a whole weekend, and all you get to do is play with typewriters and bring lots of machines for people to try out and play with, and who knows, whatever else. So we're going to start with I think we're going to call them Hot Typewriter Nights. It's in the downtown. It'll be in the downtown art district of LA. And, you know, it's in we have a very large warehouse room that's very well built, in my opinion. So that'll be real exciting. We're going to start with that and see how it goes. And can we get people excited about using typewriters, you know, to write on as the fine writing instruments that they are. So we'll see. It may just end up being a bunch of typewriter collectors like us that show up, but how can we attract to the normal public? and get them excited about the fine writing instrument that is the typewriter. So,
yeah,
that sounds fun.
It's very inspiring to write on the typewriter, especially when I write my period pieces that fit that, because I mean, of course, you can have that look from the computer, but not really. It's not as rustic. You know what I mean? Like it's too clean. The typeface, I'm not type. Well, the font on the computer is too clean. You know what I'm saying? If you want it to look actually like it did back in the 60s or 50s. So I love the fact that I've gotten back into typewriters for my writing. It really has been inspiring. And I actually, if anyone has muses, which I have a male muse, my male muse was born in 1927. So I just finally got my hands ain't on it yet. But I finally found the right typewriter for the year he was born. So they can be inspiring for writers. And I wish I could participate in something like that and talk to people myself, having published a story before, or a book before. So
well, I'm just going to be the first one to say it, Natasha. I've never, ever thought of that. That is so beyond my creative level. That makes so much sense. And I have different machines that inspire me to write things differently. If I've got a fast essay to write, I use my grandfather's machine that he went to college with. If I want to, whatever, but I've never thought of it as period correct. If I had to write an essay on Amelia Earhart, for example, I'd want to use a Corona 3 because that's something, that she would carry around and have, that type of thing. Like, this is really exciting.
Yeah, I like that.
In that regard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and too, and I think I think Natasha's the type of person, her and I could just talk for hours and solve the good world's problems. But I think there's a lot to that too in writing. Yeah. Here's your rough draft on the typewriter. What were you thinking? What was the stream of consciousness? Yeah. And then I always put that manuscript up when I transfer it. I actually transfer to Google Docs, and then I use Google Docs to Word. But it's it's a great rough draft formula. And then I need to take a picture of it sometime. I keep saying that. I just get so busy writing when I'm writing, and I don't think to stop and take a picture. But I've got a typewriter in front of me. I've got an outline on the left, and then I've got my laptop open on the right that I use just for reference and Googling.
Yeah. See, my outline, I don't even outline mine. Just look at this.
Wow.
Let me zoom in on you here.
Scribbling before I forget. I have to scribble all this stuff down. Outline. I can't do it.
Are you left-handed?
No. Say what now?
Are you left-handed?
No, I'm right.
Right-handed?
I'm both. I can use both, but I'm mostly right.
Yeah, that has a pretty good arch to it. So that I was just wondering.
Oh yeah.
Well, good for being able to scribble. I'm not very good at. I've been trying real hard to get my handwriting. I actually just ordered some black wings, pencils, to try that out. Anyways, I'm no good at. That's why I love the typewriter, being left-handed. When I write, it just smears all the heck. So I've been working real hard, just half an hour a day on my handwriting. And we don't think about it, but it is something we'll lose, so I can get better at that. And I really appreciate all the inspiration from this group. And Gregory puts out some great videos on YouTube about different pens and whatnot. So it's okay to handwrite as well as type. But no, I give you a lot of credit for being able to go through and do all that. We all have different processes, and it's a process you have to have the passion for and be in love with. You have the process, you have the passion to do this process, and then you set up your process to serve you so you can produce a product that you want, right? So exactly. I think a lot of it comes down to process, and I think we could spend all day talking about all the different processes that we go through. So this would be exciting at a retreat.
Yeah.
Find your process.
I would love to do that.
Rediscover your process.
And look what I write with. I just write with an old common pen, y'all.
There you go.
I don't have like a pen collection yet, so I need to get started, I guess.
Yeah.
So Gregory, are we at the point where we can read our type prompts, or do we want to wait on that a little bit more? Are we ready for that?
Yes, be my guest. Go ahead.
Okay, so this one I threw together last night. Of course, the prompt for this week was, I remember the first time I heard the song. So this is a kind of a full page thing. I hope it doesn't go too long. I'll try to be quick about it. It was the spring of 1980, And I was a U.S. Navy sailor on CV-64, the USS Constellation. I worked in OE Division, the TV repair shop. We had been on deployment to the Western Pacific and were slated to return to the States in a few weeks when word came down that an attempted rescue mission had been launched to retrieve the embassy hostages in Iran, and that it had failed. And part of the mission had been launched from the USS Nimitz, and we were ordered out to the Western Indian Ocean to relieve her. And so instead of steaming east back home to San Diego, we headed west through the Malacca Strait, across the IO, the Indian Ocean, to the Arabian Sea at flank speed, outrunning our escort ships for an undefined duration of time. But one of our crewmen had the foresight before leaving the Philippines to acquire the 2-tape set of Pink Floyd's newly released The Wall album.
Oh boy.
The regular order of our daily routine became drudgery after weeks and months at sea. Sleep deprived, fatigued, in uncomfortable surroundings, potential danger all around, home far away, a mere dream of a place you can barely remember. After our regular work hours, when the chief was tucked into his bunk room, we'd break out the Pink Floyd tapes and listen to them again and again.
Mm-hmm.
The Wall is a rock opera, a story of childhood loss during the Blitz of World War II, and its aftermath as the story's teller, Roger Waters, recounts biographically his dysfunction as a scarred rock star on tour with a world-renowned band. The seminal piece, in my opinion, on that album was the song Comfortably Numb, where Waters is able to admit at last his dysfunction and its source. At that time, out at sea for interminable duration, we all felt like Waters felt when he sang, "There is no pain, you are receding, a distant ship smoke on the horizon. You are only coming through in waves, your lips move, but I can't hear what you're saying." And then he sang, "When I was a child, I caught a fleeting glimpse out of the corner of my eye. I turned to look, but it was gone. I cannot put my finger on it now. The child is grown, the dream is gone. I have become comfortably numb." I think back then we were that distant ship, that smoke on the horizon. And then to top off these poetic lyrics is, of course, David Gilmour's amazing guitar solo at the close of the piece, and one of the finest guitar solos ever recorded, which really single-handedly made him a rock guitar legend. Once in a while, I will play Comfortably Numb just to briefly revisit those emotions and those days of the spring and summer of 1980, and then tuck them away again.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very good. Thank you so much, Joe.
Powerful.
Sure.
Powerful.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, thank you. Really good.
And I do have to say that album is definitely in my top 10 albums. I love it. Yeah. Very good.
A friend of mine in England was actually involved in the making of that. He
Really?
was the music conductor for the boys choir.
Oh, yes.
Oh.
You can't always get what you want.
That's right.
Yeah. He came to visit the States and brought us all copies of that album.
What's interesting is the making of that album was kind of the undoing of the whole band, right? The tension between Waters and David Gilmour. And it kind of bookends, really. I guess the album that came out just before Dark Side of the Moon was Metal. That album was the first album where they actually sort of had the Pink Floyd sound, and those albums between them, Metal, Dark Side of the Moon, Wish You Were Here, Animals, and The Wall, those kind of are the seminal work of that band. And yeah, it is interesting, definitely, that his recounting of his dysfunction, because of his upbringing in World War II England is kind of powerful, but it also put kind of a very poignant ending to the band itself, after that.
Yeah.
So
there's a really good sort of like a little mini documentary that YouTube channel Vinyl Rewind did on that. I think it was probably like about a year ago. But like he goes through like the whole, you know, story of like making the album and the movie and everything. And it's a really interesting watch.
Yeah, I'll have to watch that. Yeah.
It's interesting. I still have the cassette tape that my brother recorded of a radio interview with Roger Waters just before The Wall was released. And it talked to, it's an hour and a half interview, and talked to all through the making of the record and how each piece comes together and what the overall story is.
Yeah.
And so I think I'm on my third vinyl set. The first two wore out. I now have it on CD.
Yeah. Well, if you happen to be on YouTube, look for David Gilmour's 2016 at Pompeii. He had a concert at Pompeii in 2016, and he does Comfortably Numb in that concert. And probably one of the last public performances of that, I guess, before he kind of retired. So,
a few years ago, there's a Pink Floyd tribute band called Pigs out of Victoria, British Columbia, and they did a tour through Canada, and it was November a couple of years ago. They played the Empress Hotel in Fort McLeod, and they did some of these songs from The Wall. And now I don't know if any of you have ever had to literally hide in your music when you were a teenager to escape the trouble that was going on in the family. But I used to literally hide in Pink Floyd music. I would turn the music up, go in my bedroom, and I was just by myself. Well, this group did Pink Floyd songs, and the only way that I can describe how I felt is I felt I had been drugged by my feet through an emotional minefield and triggered every last charge.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Just tore me up inside.
Yep.
I saw a tribute, Pink Floyd tribute band a few years ago called Brit Floyd, and they were really good.
Oh,
they
they
had
are
like the
good.
whole
Out
light
of
show
Australia,
and
yeah.
everything. Yeah.
I have Animals on vinyl, you know, and it's one of those things where it's a great album to listen to by yourself, that when other people are in the room, or like my wife isn't all crazy about it, it gets a little bit too much when the sounds of the synthesized sheep are bleating, you know, and all that. But I love it. It's just not good ambience music, you know, for the house. Put on some music for our guests, Joe. A little bit
It is
intense.
for our guests.
It is for our
make
guests.
them go away.
That's right. Dogs, 3 different ones, or whatever. Or pigs, 3 different ones. Whatever. Anyways, yeah, good times.
Now, when I was back in college, I had to listen to metal every day. It just got me through the.
Oh yeah.
Through those years.
Mine was like Zeppelin, but yeah.
And that long song on the second side of the album, I forget now what it's called now. Yes.
Echoes.
Echoes. Yeah, there was some YouTube video I saw recently. I can't remember the channel, but he did a really great job of dissecting the lyrics. And it comes based on some medieval literature by an Arabic writer, an Arabic poet.
Oh, wow.
It was and he dissected all the imagery throughout that whole thing. Yeah, it was a pretty great album.
Yeah. I saw them live back in '73 or so, and that was the first song they played, and it was uphill from there because that was the Dark Side of the Moon tour.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah.
I had a little glitch there. I hope that everything continued normally on your end, but everybody froze. I was like by myself there for a little bit.
We got along without you. It's so amazing how much that'll touch all of our lives. Thank you all for sharing. I totally agree. That album means so much to me. I can't even talk about it. So. And I expect Joe to play it next time I'm at your house. That'd be great.
There you go.
Oh, I'll play it for you, definitely.
Crank it up. Have Andy put some earmuffs on. We'll be fine.
Exactly.
Yeah. That was a great story, Joe.
Thanks.
Yeah, had some weight to it for sure. No
Okay,
pun
I'm gonna
intended
take
being
off
heavy
'cause
metal.
I'm visiting my daughter here, but I just wanted to share real quick this. Oh, now it's gone. Yeah, it was my. Okay, where is it?
Oh, nice.
Oh,
yes, yes.
That's cute.
So busy looking
Yep.
at the typewriter.
Very
Yeah.
Peppers.
And you guys were talking real quick about the different typewriters being inspiring. Like when I sit down to that one, all these old sci-fi things come up and mystery thing. I don't know. I'm gone for some reason here, but
You're still in the
am
air.
I still there? Oh, okay, weird. Yeah, so that one inspired, like all these deep thoughts come up. I'm thinking about writing a book about deep thoughts from a Royal Pen or something.
That's a great
That's
idea.
what I have 6 of those. So yeah, a lot of inspiration comes from my Royal Tens. I love them.
You really just
and my Underwoods, which I'm working on right now. I'm doing a marriage counseling session from the 60s on it. So when I touched it, I was like, woo,
So
That's a great story.
Do you find the large standard machines work for you because of the size of them? Like, this is something I did notice, is I was into portables for so long, and I finally got the KMM, and I noticed just the edifice, the amount of typewriter that's in front of you kind of acts as a visual block to the distraction around you, the visual distraction. And it also places the work a little higher up on your eye line. Instead of looking down at the portable, it's more closer to being straight on. And that's, for me, it kind of helps me to focus, right?
Yeah, I agree. Well, and I feel like they were built for writing for long lengths of time. I mean, they were built for secretaries and all that. So I feel like they're very easy to type on and so smooth. I mean, you'd think it wouldn't be because it's so big, but it's so smooth for the, Yeah, I love it. That's my favorite one to type on, really. It's just so big you can't take it with you. Although you're, setting yourself to be able to take it. So take your I guess they used to have a case, not a case, but some kind of carry thing for those Royal Tens. They used to have
I know they
some kind of handles.
Okay.
Not a case, but like
a crate. I know they came in crates when they came from the factory, but are you saying they actually had a carrying thing for them?
Matt was telling me that from Ace Typewriter. He said that they used to have some kind of handles where people could lug them to different work sites. And I'm like, oh my word, it's so heavy. I'm like, I'm trying to carry it. Yeah, I love that typewriter though. But I think I kind of want one of those KMMs because, Murder, She Wrote, she's typing away on that thing in the beginning. I love that. I want that typewriter so bad. Yeah.
And Rod Serling had one of those too, I think.
Yeah.
Ellery Queen.
Yeah.
Ellery Queen. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The old TV show with the now I forget his name. I forgot his name.
Yeah.
But he was in Where the Boys Are.
Yeah.
TV Thompson. Jim Hutton. That's it.
Oh, okay.
So one of those one of those 70s TV writers, one of those shows used to always have at the very end of the show, it showed him typing and pulling out a piece of paper and kind of throwing it. You remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. He had a selector.
Who? That was a selector, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Stephen J. Cannell.
Thank you, Diane.
Yes, that's it.
Yes, thank you. I was trying to think of his name.
At the end of that, there was Sit Ubu.
I'm fine, thanks. How are you?
Good.
Oh yeah, Sit Ubu Sit. Yeah.
Sit Ubu Sit. That's right. Yeah.
Remember that.
I was thinking the other day we should do like ham radio protocol. Like, this is what I have to say. Over.
Oh. Breaker 19, good buddy.
Breaker 19, good buddy.
I don't know if anybody ever watched SpongeBob, but that episode where SpongeBob would be like, Patrick, you have to go when you answer.
Oh,
that's right. We have to go.
Keep the mic.
Thank you so much, Kelsey.
Hi, Kelsey.
Have a great week.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
I just want to mention that I don't like this group very much. You guys all cause me no end of grief, especially Joe Van Cleve.
Enablers.
Enablers.
I see an electrical cord.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Oh, the Smith
TE.
Chrono Electric.
Yeah.
Okay. What do
This
you
was
think,
all
Sean?
because, yeah, this was all because Joe posted Singers and then his electric, and I was like, I got to try that out now too.
So what do you
like a
think?
dummy. Well,
Yeah.
I got some questions for you, Joe. Now that you've caused me to do this, you got to help me solve these problems. 'cause
Oh,
this
you're
is like-
welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Actually, I am quite happy. So there's a long delay. Like when I push the keys, there's sometimes a delay before the type bar goes.
I
assume
would
there's
say
a
your
contact.
belt is slipping maybe. There's actually two belts in that, right? Because it has an intermediate idler that's for the tension or the impression control, I call it.
Okay.
So there shouldn't be any delay because that spindle should be turning all the time with the belts. And maybe the belt is slipping, the primary belt, or one of the two, right? And also, did you try adjusting the impression control knob, which should increase the tension of the first belt?
And the belts are they both on the one side?
They're on the
Yes.
left side, yeah. The motor is in the back left corner. The belt runs parallel to the left platen knob in the little left side of the housing there.
Okay.
And it runs on an intermediate pulley, and the impression control controls the tension on that first pulley.
Okay, I will try that out. Yeah, you got to stop being lazy and rip that whole body off, Sean. It's just but you can clean those belts with a little bit of alcohol and whatnot.
Yeah. So the other thing that's been harder for me to diagnose with these is, the typical 5 Series manual oftentimes needs the segment degreased and cleaned. And I wonder if you don't have just really sticky segment where the power of the electric drive is overcoming it, but it's a little bit of a delay.
Yeah.
So you might want to consider taking the shell off and just thoroughly degreasing the segment with some lacquer thinner or something like that also.
Okay.
Because it's you can't really easily turn the spindle by hand fast enough to test out the type slugs manually, right? But they could be binding or something, right? Just because of that.
Yeah,
but
like
you
with
can.
most things, a number of items probably are all contributing.
Yeah.
to it. Yeah.
I think the plumbing O-rings in the plumbing section of the hardware store, somewhere around, well, in the States here, it's be like a 4-inch diameter and 1/8 inch thick, something like that usually works.
Okay.
There may be somebody on eBay that's actually selling new old stock belts though, but I would say replace the belts and degrease the segment to start with.
Okay. Thank you.
And then make sure that the spindle that the belt turns is free to turn, right? Make sure it's easy to turn.
Yeah. Thank you. No, I was unfortunately Bob is right. I'm just going to have to suck it up and pull the case off. But it's not like I've not done that a few times before.
I'm there all the time, brother. Like, how deep do you got to take I've just learned if you rip the case off, it's so much easier, and you just have to get good at lining that stuff back up and putting it back on.
Yeah.
It took me a long time to learn that, and it's. I'm sure William's over there going, well, yeah, you're working on Typewriter. You got to take the case off, right?
So one thing about the 5 Series cases, right, is they actually have flat little rubber gaskets, grommets that would go between the body panels. And I've never gotten good about replacing those, but you really should, I guess. And it probably makes it a little quieter. They don't rub as much or rattle or whatever. But anyways.
Well, one thing I really liked about this too is, unlike the typical travel case, this one comes in a very white. Like, this is not the usual dark tan or brown. It's got a very white case, and it's not faded because the inside is like that too.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I don't know how often, because I've seen a lot of the 5TEs with that's typical case, but I like this really white.
That's nice. Well, so one of the things you're getting is a number 1 key on the keyboard, but you're also getting a lowercase apostrophe. to the
Yes.
right of the L, which just makes it so much more usable for writing dialogue and things where you have a lot of contractions, you know.
Yeah. Well, I do like that push it and just hold it and then you go grrr. Like I feel like I'm violating the manual typewriter code by doing that. But
Well, what's nice about those, right, is that you only have about maybe half I'd say about 5 millimeters or so of travel before it engages the key, right?
Yeah.
So you can type more of the laptop style, computer style typing. It does kind of spoil you once you start doing that, but yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you very much.
Oh, sure. Enjoy it.
The one thing I noticed about the electric typewriter, would it be possible for Ted to just quieten his typewriter a little bit?
Oh, sure.
Can you turn the volume down on that?
With the Smith Corner electrics, the first thing I noticed when I took mine to pieces is the intermediate pulley is the exact same concept as the variable drive on the cylinder on a combine harvester. It actually increases or decreases the speed of the drive roller when the motor stays stationary by moving the pulley forward and back and varying the effective sheave diameter of the driven and the driving pulley.
Yeah,
it's kind of
right.
interesting.
So it's a word thresher.
Yes. Yeah, there you go.
I don't have a lot of experience with farm implements, but I'll look into it.
Yeah, and
you might need to get some farm implement experience there, Sean. Yeah.
And I do remember a few years ago, I think I saved the site on my old computer, is that someone down in the States was selling 316 wide V belts, just about the right length for the Smith Corner electrics. Tiny little V belts. Oh, I'll see if I can find it.
McMaster Car. McMaster Car's got a lot of belts. McMaster Car. Yeah, McMaster.com. They got a lot of belts.
Maybe not. I don't know. I don't remember.
The only thing is it's hard to find the details on actually what the size is. So McMaster Car's got an excellent website that's got a bazillion things on it. But I'd end up ordering $6,000 worth of parts to find the one thing that works just because
when you do take the shell off your machine, you can measure those and then just get the size a little bit smaller, just to assume yours might have stretched. I happen to have had so one of the primary drive belt on mine was almost broken in half. And I happen to have a container with old VCR belts from the 1980s. And I have an orange silicon rubber square cross-section belt from a VCR that was new old stock that I used to replace mine. But that's not going to help you because you're not going to be able to find those either. So yeah, just measure the size of those. I think they're the same size, if I'm not mistaken, but maybe William can correct me. I think they're both the same size, though.
I don't
know.
So
you were saying 4 inches round and 1/8 inch,
1/8 of an inch diameter. Yeah, like those round plumbing gaskets seem to work, I think, and they're pretty inexpensive.
And then William, you were saying 3/16. So that's the other option, I guess.
Yeah.
This diameter.
Yeah.
I'll just try them all.
Yeah, just
I have an electric Segway. I pulled out a Royal Electric out of my garage while you guys are talking and stuff. And the thing works. It's a, let me see if I can.
I thought you meant a Segway that you ride, like a scooter.
I know, huh?
No, it's an old Royal. Why isn't it in? There we go, an Apollo 10.
Ah, yes.
It looks like a Nakajima almost, right?
It's a Silver Seiko.
Is it Silver Seiko? Okay.
Oh,
Wow,
okay.
those are neat.
But I was thinking, since it works, I could just clean it up. But how do you get I've got these two screws off. And it's loose in the back, but holding up in the front. Anybody know how to do this?
I haven't opened mine yet.
You have one?
Yeah, I do. They're super, super quiet.
Are there plastic tabs that you have to kind of squeeze in and flex slightly? If it's anything like
in the front here or something?
Yeah, like the Hermes 3000 has two shell halves, that the plastic version. Maybe there's a tab or something that you have to flex to get it off.
Mhm. Okay, well, I just thought if somebody was, oh yeah, what
No.
you do is you do this.
Well, I've got the
Because
service manual for it. Let me take a look real quick.
There you go.
Are there any screws on the bottom and front?
Not in front.
Okay.
It's got like in the back, but nothing up top.
Huh. I wonder if there's screws hidden under those feet. Would that be possible?
Maybe unscrew the feet.
Ah, okay. Well, I just thought if somebody knew right off the bat,
Yeah.
that would
And
be
if it's
great.
like some of the other plastic ones, you have to get the top shell off, you have to set your margins all the way out to the maximum limit. I think you have to like move the carriage all the way to the left, and then slip the right hand side of the upper shell up above the carriage, and then push the carriage back through the hole to get the left side up. Kind of.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
That's the way you have to do it with the 1970s Hermes 3000 and the Studio 45 Olivetti, both that way.
Okay, it says, well, here's the instructions. Let's see. Pull the cover off, remove the right cylinder knob and main cover binding screws, 1 and 4, which are, yeah, you've already taken those out. Using gentle force, lift cover from rear locating studs. So you have to take the platen knob off so that you can get the cover over it. Yeah, so then there's little clips that you'll have to kind of flex the shell to get undone. It says grass cover at spacebar and gently force forward to dislocate 3 main cover bosses from openings in the bottom pan.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, so you need to flex that, and then you'll need to remove that platen knob so you can actually pull the cover over the carriage.
Okay, but thank you.
You're welcome.
That sounds a little scary. What are the odds that those tabs are going to break?
Not much. The plastic on Silver Seikos is pretty good.
Oh, excellent. That's good to know. Very good.
I have a naked electric SCE. If Sean, I see Sean's pulling his, got it off. Ah!
Yes.
Let's see it.
Let's get naked.
Let's get.
Oh yeah.
Okay, let's see the left side of that, where the
those
drive belts are. Close up.
Yeah.
In fact, you could pull the belt off and measure it for us. That would be asking.
Well, I have this,
Oh, okay.
which might help.
I was thinking like a ruler, just if you could. Yeah.
To get the length.
Yeah,
Okay,
just to get stretch it out. I mean, like
Oh,
so it's
this
flat
one-
and
you want this one?
well, probably both of them.
Oh,
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah.
Disassemble the whole thing.
On live on camera.
If you put your thumb on the intermediate drive and press it down, then the secondary belt will slacken so you can pop it off. There you go. Take it off the fixed pulley first. Off the, yep, that one first. There you go.
Oh.
So now you can take a caliper and measure the width of the top of the belt, the actual width of the belt. Other side of the caliper. There you go. The deeper into the jaw you go, the more accurate measurement you'll get because you will squash the belt less.
Well, this one is not round.
No, it's a V-belt.
V-belt, yeah.
It's a V-belt. That's why you need to measure the width of the top.
Okay.
What do you have?
0.3 inches, I think. Yeah, sorry, I couldn't. It's getting hard to read these tiny things. So 0.33 of an inch.
Is it zeroed? Is your caliper zeroed? Just pause.
Yeah, I thought it was, maybe not. Okay, now it is 0.
Okay. Now remeasure.
That did sound a bit wide, Joe. You're right. So 0.11.
316.
Yeah. 0.125 would be
1/8.
1/8. So yeah.
Yeah. So now what you do is you take a felt marker pen or a Sharpie or something and just
and mark the cat.
And
That
draw
scared
a little.
the heck out of me. Holy crap.
Yeah. And
And do
draw a
what?
little. Take a felt marker pen and draw a line across the top of the belt. Somewhere, just anywhere. Or unless there is printing on there.
No, there's no printing on it.
Okay, in that case, take your pen, draw a line across it.
Yeah, black ink on black, but I don't have any other pens, so.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, do you have a tape measure or a measuring tape?
I
dressmaker's tape or a tape measure. Either works.
Yeah. You got to have a starting point to measure a round object. Gotcha.
Yes.
So one of the other ways you could do it is if you have a piece of paper that's maybe a foot long or a little longer, is just start with the belt on the mark and roll it till you get to the mark again, and then measure how far it rolled.
Good idea.
What you want to do is to measure the outside circumference of the belt itself. So then when you get the width and the outside circumference, that will give you your starting point. Okay. Now put the 1 inch on the mark. See, and remember it's at 1 inch.
So subtract
now,
an inch.
Then measure the cat.
This is typo. This is Typo Kitty. He has to be involved in everything.
What is the cat's name?
Hang on.
That cat's name is Elliot.
Elliot. Okay. T.S.
Well, actually, he was named after Brian Elliott, a goalie. So
okay, of course, hockey cat. Of course.
Pretty much, yeah.
I haven't heard that name in a while.
Well, he was on Philadelphia. I don't know if he'll be there next year or not, but that's his last location that I'm aware of.
That's why I haven't heard of him in a while. I do not like Philadelphia.
The Broad Street Bullies.
Okay, so this is approximate.
It's very entertaining.
This is approximately, damn it, cat. Now you made me lose it. It looks like it's.
Okay, yeah, put it back in again.
Sorry, I got to do it again.
Okay.
It was at least a foot.
Okay.
It was more than that. Or it was past the 12, so I guess it's more likely 11 something.
Okay. Keep your tape measure straight. Okay. Diane.
Yeah.
Diane, watch this. Take your belt, mark it.
Let me put you on there first.
Yeah.
Oh, there. Oops. Where'd you go?
Who's the director of this show?
There we go.
The poor typist.
There we go.
Take your belt and mark it. Put the 1 inch on the mark. Keep your tape measure straight. Pull the belt along the tape measure. And just keep going until you get back to the mark. Keep your tape measure straight. Then once you get to the mark, here I'm at 28 1/4 inch. I started at 1, so now the length is 27 1/4 inches.
Nice.
Keep your tape measure straight and move the belt.
Okay, so it's
And
just over 12 inches then.
Okay, so you started at 1 inch, so take 1 inch off.
Yeah,
So
no, that's what I mean. It's right now it's sitting at 13, so that's why I say
Okay.
it's 12.
Okay,
12 inches.
so you have a 3/16 by 13 inch V belt.
20, 12 inch.
12.
V belt, 12 inch.
Yeah. 360 by 12-inch V belt. That's your secondary belt.
Nice.
So now do that measurement twice more and work out the average of what your measurement actually was. Because if you get exactly the same both times, you know you're correct.
But Sean should do this, right? Because he's.
No, you guys keep going. This is great.
Oh, this is great. That way you don't have to take it apart.
I'm gonna still have to take it apart to get to those belts anyway.
Darn it.
And so then you have your specifications. The only thing you may not have is the actual angle of the V on the belt itself. But I think once you get into belts that small, they're pretty well the same.
Yeah, even round cross section seems to work okay with that typewriter.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's what you put on your Singer, right, Joe? You just put a round one.
That's right.
Okay. Yeah.
It worked okay.
Yeah. I just need it to work okay.
Okay.
Yeah, okay is all you need.
So the first one was the actual measurement, not minus an inch.
Right.
13 and 1/16. The second one is 13 and 5/16, which shows that
It may take a bit of practice to actually get the measuring technique correct.
So I have a little belt measuring fixture that I used to get that I got from PRB. It used to be a company called Projector Recorder Belt Company. We used to get replacement VCR belts, and they had a little measurement fixture that you could stretch the belt out and it would measure the size. And then you had a little slots you could measure the thickness. But,
well, the third one is 13 and 3/16. So it's
yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably just stretching anyway. So
yeah.
Yeah.
So that gives you an idea how to get a fairly accurate measurement of a belt. Now you need to do a search for those specifications.
Thank you very much, guys.
And then do the same thing with the primary belt also, of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I find the primary belt usually has more tension on it. Depends on, of course, where the copy setting is set on your typewriter, right? As to how much the intermediate pulley is stretching it.
And quite often on these belt drive typewriters, if it's been sitting for a long time, you start it up, you hear as the curve has set into the belt.
That's right.
That's why I'm getting that sound. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. That's a good indication that the belts are hard. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, if that sound goes away after a couple of minutes, the belts are reasonably okay. If it stays there and gets louder, eventually have a broken belt in not too long.
Problem solved.
Or you could take a hairdryer and put it on the hot setting and blast it into the left side of the typewriter while it's running and soften up the belt.
Yep. Warm it up.
That motor already gets super hot anyway, so.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do what I say.
Yeah.
Or if you go out in the winter time outside on your porch and type on it and it starts acting up, the belt's getting hard.
Now, are you talking wintertime where you are or where I am? Where I am?
Well, it's been as cold as 17 below zero in Albuquerque.
Okay.
Oh, that's pretty decent.
Wow.
That's shorts weather.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Oh, man.
We're not Phoenix.
Yeah.
Okay. I think the coldest we hit was minus 34 Fahrenheit. These last ones are just gone.
Wow.
Yeah, that's starting to get a little nipply.
It sure was. It sure was.
Yeah, the outer shell of this is off to be painted.
What are you painting it?
The original color, because it was green. It was it was just not in good shape, and I'm just like, seriously?
Are they going to take the texture off and just make it smooth finish, or?
I don't know. We haven't really discussed it yet. It's like actually, I sent a second Smith Corona down there. I just sent the whole thing. I wasn't thinking when I sent this. So anyway, so it's down to Megan Sayata in Arkansas. So
I look forward to seeing the results when it comes back. Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Because there was some rust on the front corners, which just really made it look like yuck. Not nice and clean like your blue one, Joe. I'm sorry, I'm jealous of that one.
Well, yeah. In all honesty, the blue one is not perfect, but it's close enough.
I was gonna say it looks pretty perfect when you show it on your videos. So.
Well, yeah. Well, those textured finishes are hard to keep clean, right? Because dirt gets in, and then it's hard to clean the dirt out of the texture without taking some of the paint off with it. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Speaking of rust,
meanwhile, I've had some success here.
Oh, look at that!
Taken off. Needs a little cleanup, but it seems to be working pretty well. And the other thing, I wanted to get since Diane's here. Here's an old Remington, and I was talking about the escapement, and this is the whole escapement mechanism. It doesn't have a wheel on this one. So when
I can't really see.
It's just a mechanical thing where it's got two blades that come down, and this thing goes back and forth, and it moves. So I thought maybe I was missing some pieces, but basically this is not to spec anymore. It's been chipped off. And so it's got two blades that I need to either recreate or it's a coffee table decoration. I don't know.
Oh.
So, but that's what I've been fussing with.
Yeah, I think mine has a wheel.
Yeah, it did. I looked at the video that you guys had made, and it had a wheel there.
Maybe you can find a parts machine, hopefully, from somebody.
Well, I don't know how many of these there are, but
yeah.
The Remington portables had the same escapement concept where the escapement walked along a ratchet as opposed to the bar being a gear rack and turning a star wheel.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
I think this is a 1907.
Yeah,
if I'm remembering right.
Yeah, mine is an 1897.
Really?
Uh-huh.
And you've got a wheel and I don't.
Yeah, mine's a Remington 6.
Yeah, this is a this is a 5.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I put it on the database and it was yeah, so it's a
yeah, it's definitely different. I don't see the 5. Oh yeah, I see. Well, I see something on the right side, but I can't really tell what.
Yeah, it is a 5.
Oh yeah, yeah. Now I see it. Yeah, yours has the bell on the front, and it's quite a bit different.
Yeah. But yours is from 18 something?
1897.
Wow.
I'll have to double check on this. I get them all mixed up.
I was just a wee gaffer back in 1897.
Let's see if I can find that typewriter database.
I've got too many old machines now. I can't keep track of what's going on. I have to go look on the database.
So although my type font isn't nearly as deep or meaningful as Joe Van Cleves, I do have one ready to go.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Total Eclipse of the Heart by Bonnie Tyler. Growing up in England in the 1960s and 1970s, it was almost a weekly ritual to listen to the National Billboard Top 20 pop songs, the pop chart. It was a great way to spend a couple of hours on a Sunday evening hearing all your favorite songs and seeing if you could guess which song was #1 that week. In June of 1981, I moved to Canada and was thoroughly disappointed in the quality of the radio programming. The music selection of each station was so narrow unless you like country music. I tried listening to country music for a few weeks to try and fit in, but I got so depressed listening to all the sad stories these country singers were telling in their songs. I wrote a letter to my brother in England asking if he would be willing to make it a 120-minute cassette tape of the top 20 each week and send a few cassettes to me once in a while. It took him a couple of months to finally get around to recording the radio show and send me a few tapes, but they did eventually arrive. I bought a decent stereo cassette player and I'll play one side of one cassette per evening. It was on one of these tapes that I heard Total Eclipse of the Heart by Bonnie Tyler. That song stopped me dead in my tracks and I just listened. When the song was over, I rewound the tape and played it again and again. I knew that if that song ever made it to North America, it was going to go to #1 over here too. 6 months later, it did just that. Wow, what a song.
Very good, very good.
Yay.
I have
Very
to.
nice.
Yeah.
And I actually did 4 short ones. So if you want, I can read the second one.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. You Belong to the City by Glenn Fry. It was the end of what?
Somebody was singing.
Okay. It was the end of October 1985, and I was on a new adventure. I was going to college. Yes, it was only for 8 weeks, but I was finally going to college. I had been invited to apprentice with their local John Deere dealership to become a heavy-duty or diesel mechanic. I had no idea what college would hold for me, or how I would manage living in residence. I had packed everything that had been suggested to me, including my clock radio. As registration for classes started at 9 in the morning, and it was a 3-hour drive up to radio from home, I booked a night in the downtown motel so I could be up and gone by 8 and out of college by 8:30. Once in the motel, I unpacked my overnight bag and set up my radio alarm to wake me up in plenty of time. My favorite radio station at the time was 66 CFR out of Calgary. Now, Sean would know this one. 660 on the AM dial. I wanted to get an early night because I didn't know what the next day would hold for me. I had just shut the light out and was laying in bed listening to the radio when You Belong to the City by Glenn Fry came on. I'd never heard that song before, so I listened with intent. From then on, every time I hear that song, I always think of that night in the downtown motel in Red Deer, the night before I started college.
Excellent.
Now, unlike Natasha, I can't write fictional stories like Visits with the Devil, so all my typewriters basically have to be factual.
Well, if y'all like, I can go ahead and read mine.
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, why not? Why
Before
not?
I do, William, do you mind if I ask you a question real quick? My boyfriend that just came in, he's Welsh. He's from Merthyr Tydfil, and I told him about you. Where exactly from England? Where are you from?
So I didn't quite catch the question. You kind of broke up a bit there.
That's okay. Let me ask it again. My boyfriend that just left the room a little while ago, he's Welsh. He's from Merthyr Tydfil in Wales.
Okay.
And I told him about you, and he was like, "Oh, well, where is he from?" And I was like, "Well, I don't know. I know he's in Canada now." So do you mind telling where? I mean, you probably have told this before. I haven't heard it. But where exactly were you from in England?
Okay, I was from close to the city of Worcester. If you think of the Lee and Terence Worcestershire sauce,
yes,
same town, same town. Yeah.
Okay.
So if I'm the A44 goes to Aberystwyth. So if you go east along the A44, you'll go right through Worcester.
Okay. I might need that information because my characters are English that I write about. So yeah, that's good. Oh,
yeah.
I guess let me go ahead and read this. Thank you for telling me that.
Oh, you're welcome.
Just Us Two by Tina Marie, 1991. That's the name of the song. I remember the first time I heard the song Just Us Two by R&B singer Tina Marie. It was my prom night in 1991. My date was an early childhood friend named Alvin. I couldn't believe he asked me to the prom. He was a popular jock in high school, and I was just a regular student who was lucky to have at least 1 to 2 friends a year. He sat at the pool table with other football jocks, popular class clowns, and cheerleaders. He always spoke to me, but never more than that. Then out of the blue, he asked little old me to the prom. Of course, I said yes. Fast forward to the night of the prom, one of the songs that played during the dance was the song Just Us Two. I loved it so much. I love Tina Marie so much. When she sings about love and heartbreak, it is passionate, and we felt that. The song came from her new album at the time, Ivory. When I purchased the album on a cassette, of course, there were plenty of great songs on it, including my favorite one. It was not the version that played on my prom night. So I later learned that the version I was wanting was the radio version, which was called the Arena 7-inch edit. So I eventually found it on a cassette as a single release. And I literally played it to cassette death. I wore the tape out. I cannot explain it. The music was cordial and it drew me in. And to this day, 30 years later, every time it plays on my phone or iPod, I love it like the first time I heard it. So much so that I have told my family that, and this is sad, but I mean, it's real. It is what it is. I told my family that I want this played at my funeral when I leave this planet. Yeah. So music is another one of my major passions. There is a soundtrack that is played throughout my life, and this song is the first and main one on it.
Cool. Right on. Love it, Natasha. Love it.
For the songs that went through my mind when I gave birth to both my kids. So my life is literally this soundtrack. And I asked other people on Facebook once, I said, do you remember the song that played when y'all had, gave birth to your kids? Like, doing this like questionnaire thing. They was like, I was in so much pain. I don't even remember listening. They weren't even thinking about anything like that. I'm like, I guess I'm weird. I mean, but, yeah. So that was my most favorite song in the world. And my friends didn't understand it when they heard it, but I don't care.
Lynn? Is Lynn still on? I was wondering what her serial number was on that Remington.
Yeah, I looked it up. It's a 1893.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I was wrong. I have like a Blick and a Standard 5 Royal, and I get them all mixed up. I shouldn't be in the old typewriter business. I really need to find people who would love to have these in their collections. Anyone who really wants a Blick 8, I got one. I don't know what to do with it. It's like just roll 10.
Wow.
I don't remember which one I have. I have a Blick something or other.
Well, they're mysterious. They're another one of those gear type escapements. They're not a wheel or anything. And I don't know. I don't want to wreck it. It's from, I can't tell you the date because I get them all mixed up, but it's old.
Yeah,
very good.
Typewriters frighten me. So
Well, you don't want to do any harm to something that's, not everywhere.
Exactly. Yeah. I do want to say what do you have there, Joe?
Oh, I guess I'm interrupting, but to finish our discussion about belts, this is the PRB Measure a Belt 2. It's a cardboard fixture. You can put small belts up here, or the large ones around here. And there's also these brass studs that you can use to put them around, and then you stretch it out until it's tight but not stretchy, and it gives you the readings of the belt.
Wow.
And then there's a size chart here for the cross-sectional size. And then on this side, there's a metric to American conversion chart. And it was made by the American Slide Chart Corporation, and it's called the Measure a Belt 2.
Wow.
So cool. That's what we used to use for VCR belts. And I'll just show you here. I have an old VCR belt. This is North American Phillips. So this would have been like, what, RCA or GE VCRs maybe back in the day. And let's see if I can get this thing to work here. This thing is made of cardboard, and it's a little fragile. So, and also being fragile and being cardboard. So this belt is so old that it's like permanently curled. So anyways, and it's only approximate. You probably could get just as accurate of a reading with a ruler, but the idea is to stretch it out until it's straight but not stretched. So it usually helps to pinch both ends of it.
Yeah.
And then it's going to read 14.5 inches roughly, or 31.5, 37 centimeters, or 14.5 inches in this case. Anyways, that's an option.
Very cool.
So, okay,
Thanks.
Back to your regularly scheduled programming.
That's really neat.
So I do want to say hello to people that have actually been here for a while, but I haven't had a chance to say hi. Hi, May.
Hey.
Hi, May.
Hey, May.
How
Hello,
are you?
everyone. I'm doing great. I'm surrounded by typewriters. So
Excellent.
that's
Excellent.
good. I don't have any new ones to show off. I'm
That's
just kind of tinkering with the ones I have. I've got several that still need some PLC, as we all do. So.
And hi to Care. I always feel so bad when people have been on a while and I haven't had a chance to say hi. So
oh, don't feel bad. It's great just to listen.
Oh.
Sneak in the back and just eavesdrop on what you guys are.
Yeah.
And Brian Good keeps popping in and out.
Hi.
You're right.
Hey, Brian.
Hey, Brian.
I'm back.
And I never did find that Royal P screw. Like it literally disappeared somewhere in my living room kitchen area.
Oh,
it just disappeared. I don't know where it went. But I was able to find a matching screw. I stole one from a Royal Quiet Deluxe. It's the same screw, so
nice.
Just a different color. So it's saved. Oh, nice, Diane.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
Nice.
Yeah. Those are so neat looking.
I'd like to type on one of those one day.
Mm-hmm. I want to type on all of them.
Yeah, May, your experience with dropping the screw kind of mirrors mine, but there's been so many times I've dropped things and couldn't find them, and it's just frustrating.
And, yeah, I need to vacuum, but I've been kind of holding off vacuuming until I find it, but I think I'm just going to give up.
If you put
I'll
some cheesecloth or something over the vacuum, you can, sometimes that works.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah.
Or pantyhose if you happen to have pantyhose.
I'm sure I'll hear it,
Yeah.
But that's okay. I have plenty of parts machines.
So May, what are you working on there?
This is a
CPI,
Galaxy
was that?
12. Well, I was working. I've kind of pulled out all my 6 series Smith Coronas and just playing around with them. They've been in their cases for months now. So I got this one because I wanted a Galaxy 12 and I like it a lot. one of the
Good.
first typewriters I got that was cleaned. You know, all the typewriters I get are $30, $40 really dirty typewriters, but this one was cleaned by Jessica Winkowski. I got it through the.
She does a great job.
Did a great job, and she put blue and black ribbon, which is really cool.
Nice.
So, yeah, so I really like the Galaxy a lot. It's, you know, can't complain about anything except it doesn't have 1.5 line spacing.
No, Smith Coronas rarely did, except the Skywriters, right?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
the later ones did, the later
Oh.
6 series, but not the earlier ones, and
Yeah.
not the 12s, you know. I think the 12s maybe were just a slightly lower end than the classic 12, yeah, because the classic 12, my classic 12s do have 1.5 line spacing, but the Galaxy 12 does not, and no half space option either on the Galaxy.
Yeah.
So there's just a few less features on the Galaxy 12, but it's a great typewriter.
Very nice.
I guess I always refer to the line spacing as either having the fine tooth ratchet or the coarse tooth ratchet.
Yes, exactly. The half inch or half line spacing increments. Those are my favorite. For some reason, 1.5 line spacing is just perfect for me.
Especially if you have a vertical cursive or a decorative cursive font, you want a little more space between the lines so that the letters don't clash into each other.
Exactly. So now I have 5 6 series machines. I have all the typefaces. I have Pica Elite, and then I have the Script, and then the.
I think you need 6 of them to make it even.
Yeah,
Don't you
to
think?
make it even. So if I find one in a different typeface, I certainly will.
Enabling you.
I don't know. I'm kind of at my typewriter, maximum, kind of having a typewriter existential crisis. Like, do I have too many typewriters?
Yeah.
That was quick.
Do I need to slow down? It was.
Maximum you speak of.
I only have so much.
I know what you're talking about.
I can't sleep with my typewriters.
You need to take
But,
these
yeah, I
relationships
did.
slower.
Slower, I know. It was a whirlwind romance, but I'm glad, because now I don't have to buy typewriters anymore. I don't have to fight you guys in the auctions anymore. So.
May, the minute you say that, they're just going to start showing up on your doorstep, like literally.
Well, I already have a couple of friends that, they go to estate sales and thrift stores and they know I like typewriters. So I just wait for the typewriters to come to me now. I don't have to actively go out and procure them anymore.
That's the second Zen state of typewriter collecting. They come to you.
They come to me.
Yeah. So I
Malcolm
know
comes to Muhammad.
Yeah, so I know that when I write a letter to May, I need to write it in 6 CPI.
There you go.
On 11 by 17 paper.
So, Ted, I think the third stage of Zen is going to be when you try to get rid of them and they keep coming back.
Yeah, I think you're at that
Yeah.
stage now. I know I am.
Typewriters.
Yeah.
I know I am. I can drop a whole load of them off down at Bill's to give for his parts collection, and within a couple of months, I end up for some reason having the same amount again.
Well,
Without even trying.
I did get a new to me machine.
Finger flight.
Nice.
Yep. And
Oh, nice.
I found this on on Kijiji up in Edmonton.
Yeah, it's nice.
And the sister of a neighbor lives in Edmonton, so I had her pick it up. And she just came down to visit her sister on this last weekend. So, yeah. So I finally got it, and
Very nice.
I kind of like I like the color scheme on these because it's basically gray, but it has the blue space bar, shift keys, the tab keys, the platinum knobs, and the logo.
Very nice.
And and although this machine was made in the USA, the ribbon spools say "Made in Canada" on them. So I think that the spools are going to go on my Canadian-made jade green.
Do you call them toques?
Underwood.
Sorry.
Joe, this is Tokes.
Tokes and toques.
You can wear it and smoke it at the same time, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Oh, people.
Oh, man.
It's,
I had something.
One of the first times I was on this group, my wife looked over and said, "He is singing the song of his. He is singing the song of his people." Okay, go ahead.
Oh, I had something I wanted to share. It was hilarious. I think, is Sean still here?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, there you are. You'll understand this. So I was getting some tote bags made for my business, and as I sent the files, and the art department of the tote bag, they just keep coming back with like, here's the proof, which looked great to me, and then but they would always put this note in red saying the art is weird, it's kind of breaking at the edges, it's kind of fuzzy at the edges, we don't know what's going on. And I was like, what's going on? It looks great. So I sent another one, and then I was like, I finally figured it out. It was because they were confused because of the typeface.
Oh. Yeah, so because it's like a typeface with a spread of ink off the edges, they thought it was a problem.
It's because it's Vogue, and the like typeface is all broken up and stuff. So they didn't like that. It upset them.
Oh,
so they
funny.
they tried to fix it a little bit, which I didn't want them to do, but whatever. Anyway, that's my typewriter related thing that people can't.
That's funny.
In the art department. and Sean, you will see that it has the mwah. I thought you'd like
that. I love that.
That's all I got that's typewriter related. Except that I hear tell from Megan Seata that the panels that she's repainting for me on my Enterprise are on the verge of being completed. And my birthday typewriter is on the verge of being ready. So soon I will have things to share.
Nice.
But that's all I got right now.
All righty.
I have a writing prompt that I did.
Oh, excellent. Yes.
Okay, so let's see. I remember the first time I heard the song "Fool in the Rain" by Led Zeppelin. I was a freshman at the University of Dayton in Dayton, Ohio. Okay, make sure my mic was on. All right. There was a guy in my dorm who had a dorm building down the hall and one floor over who had a really big stereo, like 4-way Sherwin-Vegas speakers with 12-inch woofers. Every once in a while, you'd hear him put that song on, and you'd stop and listen to it because it was so loud you couldn't hear anything else. I remember the wall shaking. I think it probably sounded better in my room than it did in his. Every once in a while, I turn my stereo up and play that one Led Zeppelin song. I wish I could express the feelings that it brings up in me. I remember once I went downstairs to find the kid with the really big stereo. I walked by each door on the second floor hallway until I came to the one propped open with thunder rolling out of it. Once inside, I saw the DJ sitting in a chair, just listening, while 3 of his associates stood nearby, obviously keen to see the results of the sonic assault that was underway. The DJ had taken the doors off of the built-in cabinets above his closet and shoved 2 massive Sherwin-Vegas in sideways, taking up almost all of the space that had been provided for extra blankets and pillows. Below them, I could see the closet door was open, and inside was a stack of hi-fi components balanced on a milk crate. Sensui, Denon, Nakamichi, all lit up with bouncing, glowing indicators, sliders, and buttons. Clearly, it was more stereo than any college student would need in a 250 square foot dorm room. As John Bonham's avalanche of a calypso drum breakdown poured out of the speakers, and Jimmy Page's impossibly huge octave fuzz guitar buzzed down my spine, setting each little hair on end, I looked at the DJ and scream-mouthed at the top of my voice, "Why? Why are you doing this?" He cupped his hands to his mouth and yelled back with a smug smirk, "Yeah, I know."
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Very good. Very good. I will go ahead and do mine as well. All right. So mine is pretty short. I remember the first time I heard the song. My oldest brother and I would watch a show on VH1 called New Visions. It featured music videos that were not considered mainstream or popular. I discovered artists that remain my favorites to this day, such as Tangerine Dream, Kitaro, The Lounge Lizards, Chet Baker, Charlie Parker, Dizzy Gillespie, and my favorite female singer, Jane Sibrey. The song started with a slow, hesitant stutter, but no more than a bar to fall into a steady, gentle flow. It was angelic yet full of despair, hopeful and hopeless, understated yet emphatic. It was poetry, and as such, the meaning wasn't easily accessible. Of course, my wife is perplexed that I pay little attention to lyrics when listening to music. For me, it's about the emotions the song evokes. I should be able to understand on some level the purpose of the song without the cheat sheet of the lyrics. Jane Sibrey's The Walking and Constantly immediately grabbed me, finding that place of infinite sadness inside me and filled it with light. Though I consider it a sad song, it is far more complex than any label. It's one of a handful of songs that brings tears to my eyes every time I hear it, and it remains my favorite song.
Oh,
there you go.
What song is it? I didn't quite catch the name.
The Walking and Constantly by Jane Sibrey.
Okay.
A Canadian singer, and I've had a couple of, I guess you might call them interactions with her. So the first one was many years ago when I very first got into making my own electronic music. And I made the mistake of approaching her to do a remix of one of her songs, which she let me do. And fortunately, she shot it down as soon as she heard it.
Oh.
And I'm glad she did, because it was pretty bad. I did not do her music justice at all, but it was still fun doing it. The second interaction was much more positive and much more recent, actually within the last year. So she's one of many singers and musicians that have, gone online, taken their performances online. So when she first started doing her live performances on Facebook, I was helping her do her live streams. So I was doing that for like a month, and then she kind of settled into it and didn't really need my help anymore. So yeah, but it was fun working with her, and I've loved her since like 1988. So so the fact that I had that positive interaction with her was pretty amazing. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Did she remember the previous interaction where she didn't give you permission to use it or whatever?
Oh God, I hope not. It would have been embarrassing.
Are you that? No, that's a different Gregory. That's a different Gregory.
Yeah.
Different Gregory.
Well, at the time, let's see. Yeah, my music moniker at the time was Lucky Tourist. So that's kind of what I was going by. But I've had many.
Not Gregory, the poor musician.
That would have worked.
Sorry, that was just a pun I couldn't avoid. Sorry. I'm sure you're talented.
It was a good one. I'm talented in my own way, but really what I do is much more making sounds rather than, because I'm not like a trained musician. definitely. But I think I have an excellent ear for music, and so I can make some sounds, but that's the extent of it. So that's why I kind of stick to experimental music now. So.
I have an excellent nose for music. Everything I play stinks.
Excellent. Did anyone else have a typing prompt?
I did not, but I'm afraid I have to go because we're gonna go put flowers on my late father's grave.
Oh,
because he was in the military. So.
Yes.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for doing that demonstration for us with the belt.
Yeah, thank you, Diane. That was great.
Yeah.
We put you on the spot. You did well.
Yes, we appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Diane.
Bye-bye.
Diane,
Bye.
Bye.
Because of you guys, I did get everything off now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Monk, I got a request from you if you're still in there somewhere. Yeah, there you go.
Yep, here I am.
You sent me a link last week.
I did.
Yeah.
Did you get it?
I think it was concerning that Olympia I got. And when I went to go look at it, because I didn't write then, it was gone. Like I couldn't use it. Yes. So is there any way you could send it again?
Wait, was that in the chat?
Was it?
Yeah, it was. I think
it was. Chat, yeah, it was.
No,
and then yeah, and when I went back to, because I put it in my notes, because what I did was I copied it and I put it in my notes.
You got to grab it right away. You got to grab it right away because I delete them. I delete them to save space on my Google Drive.
Oh, okay. So I wonder. It was concerning. It was offline. Like if the top of the letters are fading. Type. I think that was what it was about. For the SM9 or the B12, the Olympia B12.
Oh, the B12. You were looking for the. Let me find it here. I have it.
So how do I save it? I mean, I maybe I know when I just don't know.
You gotta download it to your local computer.
Okay.
And I think what you wanted was let's see.
It's off something, off center, off some. I forgot what it was
off
called.
Feet.
Off foot. Thank you. That's it.
You're looking for the Howard Hutchinson Typewriter Repair Book, 1981. Let me go ahead and upload that again. This time you better get it when I tell you to get it.
Yes, sir. My bad.
Yeah, download it from the drive to your computer, and then you'll be okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Eric, thanks for posting the link to the video to that song I was talking about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we just did. I saw it.
That's a wonderful, wonderful song. I have that album on many different many different copies in all three of the main formats. So it's a brilliant.
Gregory, one quick question. When you used to post the Typewriter Live, you used to be able to read all the posts on the side. I can't find those anymore. Or am I not looking in the right place?
Yeah.
All the chats, that was it.
Yeah. Well, I didn't do it for last week, but the previous week I posted it in the forums on the website.
Okay.
I didn't do it for last week's, partly because I was being lazy and partly because I don't think people actually look at the forums. So I think I'm gonna go back to sending out an email newsletter and have the chat in the newsletter. I think that will be the easiest way for people to get it.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you keep an archive of the newsletter on the website also?
Well, I don't know how that works with the new software I'm using. But I can certainly do that though. I can find.
I'm just curious, in case one of us deletes it out of our inbox, we could still get it off the website.
That's a very good idea. I will do it that way. Yeah. Make sure it's in both places.
There's nothing like making more work for you, Greg.
And here I was trying to be lazy. By the way, I'm not drinking beer. This is a malt beverage. Oh, it's censored. It's a malt beverage.
Maltagoya.
Oh yeah, this is good stuff.
Isn't beer a malt beverage?
Yes, but this is non-alcoholic. So this is, I guess, essentially non-alcoholic beer, except it doesn't. I've only had beer a few times in my life, and it didn't taste anything like this. This tastes really good, actually.
What's it called?
Maltagoya.
Maltagoya.
There we go.
Ah.
And it says a malt beverage, non-alcoholic. Yeah.
Is it sweet?
It is sweet, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And quite tasty. Yeah.
Growing up in England, there's a kind of pop you can get called ginger beer. And
I heard about that.
I love ginger beer.
What about pine beer?
Oh,
pine beer?
Yeah, so it's a big thing in Quebec. So I don't know if any of you are familiar with a poutine or a poutine. You know, fries with cheese curds and gravy. It's got to be a homemade sort of Quebec gravy.
We know what poutine is.
Perfect. So a good poutine comes with a pine beer, and a pine beer is sort of like, yeah, of course it does. It's sort of like the ginger beer, but with a Quebec Eastern Canadian twist. And my God, there's nothing better than being in the Rocky Mountains on fresh air day with pine trees, sitting outside eating a poutine with a pine beer. Then you're like, you just want to go out and eat the whole forest.
Do you drizzle maple syrup over
it? You know, we actually don't do that.
No.
The maple syrup cartels are very powerful here. If they heard you make fun of it, they'd come after you.
That's right.
Maple syrup is new pancakes.
Yeah.
I've had birch beer. I like that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's kind of like root beer, cream soda kind of flavor.
Oh, okay.
Sounds good.
Like birch.
So, Ted, do you have anything new in the pipeline that you're working on?
I am working on an update to the Smith Corona 6YC series book. Let's see. I am adding more information for skywriters and an earlier version of the Corsair service manual, and I'm actually including information all the way up to the 7YC or 7Y models, the
Super Gs.
The Super Gs, yeah, Gias.
One of those.
So there's going to be information in there now, all the way from the 1Y and 1Z series Zephyrs to all the way through the Skywriters up to the Corsairs and then into the Super Gs. So pretty much the whole line.
Excellent.
I'm going to double the size of that book.
Sorry, Ted. I hate being rude and cutting people off. I hate the online meetings for that. So
cut me off. Cut me off.
But you mentioned the Super Gs. So Eric, Tid, do you have a Super G typewriter yet?
I do.
Oh, okay.
I got one.
I
bought it for myself for Christmas.
Okay, good. So it matches the car. We're all good.
Well, unfortunately, I want an orange Super G to match my Carmen Gia, but I got a blue Super G. What's that?
Do they make orange ones?
They do.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Orange, blue, and brown.
Orange, blue, and brown. That's right.
So, Ted, are you going to publish maybe also those additional things as an addenda for people that already have the original 6 series book?
No, I'm just going to chop them all into one book.
Okay.
Just because there's so much more that I want to keep it all in one place, basically.
Okay.
I'm not going to split out a whole bunch of different books for people to buy for the same machine type, at least.
Yeah.
So since they're all basically the same machine inside, I'm going to keep it all into one book.
Okay.
That's a beautiful manual. That SCM manual.
Yeah.
Yes, Corsair.
I bet it smells good too.
It smells like an old book.
I love old books now.
And my daughter's got a Cougar. Is that the same? It looks almost exactly like my Gia.
Yeah, the Cougar. I think
The
I have
6Y series.
Yeah, the 6YCs, the 6Ys. There's
Calypso, Corsair.
Yeah, they came
Profile.
under a bunch of different names. In fact, you can even find Corsairs that are labeled as Skyriders, which is kind of
Skyrider
fun.
2.
Yeah, but
And the Zephyr 2.
So they slapped a lot of different names on the same machine. So
it seemed like these companies like doing that. Like, of course, the Companion is a great example of that. Just putting it on all these different typewriters.
Yeah.
So was Smith Corona kind of borrowing the names of automobiles on purpose? I wonder.
They all were. I mean, just like Royal stole the names of spaceships, or the Apollo program and Mercury capsules, and they all kind of stole whatever would work marketing wise. So and they reused it over and over again on different machines. Sometimes completely different machines would have the same name, like Companions. You had the original 1930s cheap frame Royals named Companion, and then you had the A-frame Royals named Companion, then you had the Royalites named Companion, and then you had Silver Seikos named Companion, and that went all the way up until I don't know, they might have even branded the Adler machines as Companion, for all I know.
Wow.
So I think one of those light blue plasticky Smith Corona Corsairs, maybe. I think it was made in England. Wasn't very impressed with the way it worked or anything. But were the 6YCs kind of a lot like that in terms of quality?
They were all the same. Yeah, they're all made in England.
Yeah.
All the Corsair line. Once they went to the plastic body. In fact, they moved to England sometime toward the end of the 3Y series and starting the 4Y series. You find some 3Ys and 4Ys built in England and some built in the United States. The transition was right in between that period.
It kind of reminded me somewhat of an older Skyrider, but all the components were mounted to the plastic base inside.
Yeah, it's exactly the same machine as a Skyrider inside. The materials quality is a little less, I think, for the English-made machines, but they made it slightly softer metal.
Yep.
And from what I understand, the reason why they went to all the plastic typewriters was to cut production costs to compete with the Japanese. Now the Japanese were starting to flood the world market.
Yeah, they cheapened it up a little bit, but they're still the same machine inside, mechanics wise. And they have actually a lot of parts interchangeability. You can pull parts off of one and put it in another, which is one of the nice things about the Corsairs and the Cougars and all those 5Y and 6Y series is you can pull the carriage handle off of them and put them directly on an old Skyrider that has that kind of bent metal vestigial return handle. It's a direct drop-in replacement. Quiet. Everyone is so quiet. Curry, were you?
You've spoken profound words, Ted. We're just thinking about it.
Were you able to get that letter open that I sent you?
Yes. Where is it? Hang on. It's here.
I was worried once I put that big wax blot on there that you wouldn't be able to get it open.
How do I open this without ripping it? So yes, it did manage to pry it open.
That sounds like an insult. You wax blot.
Heat it up over an open flame.
Oh, there you go.
No, it was a very, very intriguing and exciting opening up your letter with a few little goodies in there. So yeah.
Groovy. I'm glad you were able to get it open. It was I was a little worried about that.
Hey, Curry, speaking of, well, we got you. I got a new idea for your next shirt.
Oh, yes?
Yeah, so the rounded Corona logo from the Corona 4, and then underneath, it was a typewriter long before a virus or something like that. Yeah?
Oh,
wow. Before it was a virus or a beer.
Yeah.
Corona, no fear.
No fear, yeah.
Just add lime.
Y'all ever notice when you type in Corona on Instagram, you're talking about the typewriter, of course. Next thing you know, they're giving you advice on the coronavirus. I'm like, okay, I'm not. And it says, okay, you're giving out advice, something to that effect on coronavirus. I'm like, no, I'm just talking about this typewriter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Don't
it's
do
got
this to me.
algorithms. It's reading what I type. So I wrote like on my typewriter and then took a picture of it. It read Corona in my type and then made it a Corona post. And I was so irritated.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
I hate that.
That's crazy.
The robots are taking over the world.
Yeah, yeah.
We're just gonna have to change the name of Corona to Kavona or something.
Kavona.
Yeah, code. Start typing in code. Yeah.
There's
all like letters to the World Health Organization asking them to change the name.
Yeah.
You're screwing up our algorithms.
Yep. There's a city right next to Riverside called Corona, so I feel bad for them.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Tourism's way down.
Yeah.
There's a Corona in New Mexico also.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So you can type on a Corona while drinking a Corona while you have Corona in Corona.
Wow, yeah.
Oh, I was as we were saying that, I was wondering how far he's going to get this. And you did really
And if you're wearing a halo, it could be said to have a Corona.
You can have a Corona.
That's right.
If you're really good.
Oh man.
Okay.
I got to get going, you guys.
Same here.
All right.
Take care, Kurt.
Yep.
Good to
See you
see
next
you.
week, everybody.
See you next
Until
week.
next time.
You're leaving, Sean. He left. He left without even saying goodbye.
Oh.
Oh, I thought he was waving goodbye to Kurt. And he said,
No, he kind of said he was going. But,
Oh, okay.
said me too, and
yeah.
like I was gonna say goodbye to him. But
So what are you typing, May?
A typing prompt.
Ooh,
So,
nice.
Yes. I remember the first time I heard this song. It was the mid-1980s, and my entire 7th grade school was gathered in the gym for the end of the year talent show. A classmate, whose name escapes me, slowly approached the microphone and then blew us all away with her a cappella version of Saving All My Love for You by Whitney Houston. I'd not yet heard of her yet or any of her songs, but quickly learned about her greatness through my excited peers. Soon afterwards, I convinced my dad to take me to the music store to buy her new album on cassette tape. Remember those?
Yep.
I played that thing over and over and over until I wore it out in a few years. And Whitney Houston has been one of my favorite artists ever since. It's been a minute since I've listened to her voice. So as soon as Typewriter Club Live is over, I'm going to crank out my old iPod and reminisce while I tinker with my typewriters.
Oh,
I wrote it
excellent.
on my Cursive Brother machine, one of my favorites.
Very nice. It looks great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
By the way, I have probably 1,000 cassettes in my collection. I have a couple
Still?
Walkmans and
Wow.
and a dual cassette deck. So I'm big
Cool.
into these.
Yeah.
Plus, I'm the admin for a Facebook group called the Cassette Community. So yeah.
Oh,
Oh, yeah. Well, I was
So
cleaning
Gregory,
out-
how much pre-recorded music do you have on micro cassette?
Uh, No. You have one though, right?
I have one. Yes.
Yeah. I remember that video.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the things that encouraged me to get into micro cassette.
Yeah, they're kind of funky.
Yeah.
For sure. Well, everybody, I'm going to take off also. So thank you for
All right, Joe.
for the meeting. It was a lot of fun talking with you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Fun talking to you too, Joe.
And
Always a
thank
pleasure,
you.
Joe.
And Joe,
It's
thank you
always
again
fun.
for your recountation of your voyages at sea, listening to Comfortably Numb.
Yes.
Oh, thanks.
Very good.
Yes, it was
Very
fun typing that up. Thank you.
Excellent.
And I didn't realize until just now that it was a Memorial Day theme, right? So
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of is, and loosely related, military.
go.
So
Yeah.
anyways, well, guys, you have a great week.
You
Will
too.
do.
You
Joe.
too, man.
Great to
Stay
see you.
creative. Yeah.
Be creative.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Yes. Bye.
So, Curry, is there anything new with your business?
Yeah, it sort of goes in fits and starts, especially with the t-shirt thing. So somebody had shared one of the t-shirts on their Instagram feed, and then all of a sudden it was like sale, 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 and then nothing for a long time. So it's interesting. It's just sort of trying to figure out what types of t-shirt designs people will engage with versus what they won't, and then just trying to find the time to then get more typewriters on the site will be the challenge upcoming this week. But no, I've been working on a 1934 Corona standard, I think it is, for a fellow from one of the local universities here. And then I'm in the middle of working on it, and he sends me a message, can you get me a purple and a blue ribbon? I'm like, okay, sure. And then at the same time, I had to get a ribbon for another client's typewriter. So so Ribbons Unlimited to the rescue. So I'm waiting on the shipment to come in from them. And but yeah, so it's still kind of the side gig. I'm also working on my aviation consulting business, which hopefully things seem to be gaining traction on that front, as well as I think our numbers here in Canada are improving, and hopefully things may be opening up a little bit more soon. So yeah, it's just sort of kind of been a big waiting game, kind of the last year and a half of kind of with since COVID and then losing my regular job, and then trying to figure out what the next steps are. But sort of I've had a whole bunch of different irons in the fire, and waiting for them to materialize into something. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff on the go, and just sort of trying to say, okay, this block of time now needs to be typewriter time, and then this block of time is the aviation stuff, and figuring all that out. So yeah, it's fun. I guess that's the important thing, is have fun while you're doing it, right?
Exactly. Yes.
So Curry, I did what's the word, recommend you to a fellow in Huntsville, Ontario, who he contacted me via a friend of his, who contacted a friend of hers, to then contact me to give me my Etsy address to see if he could ship a typewriter over to here to have it fixed. And I said, well, Willow Creek Typewriter is way closer. Big, I think it was a big Royal Standard, and he was deciding whether he should ship it or drive it down there, or what.
Drive. Shipping was a nightmare.
Drive. It looks like it's a 3 to 3.5 hour drive. If he goes through Barrie, then cross country, he can totally avoid Ontario. He can totally avoid Toronto itself.
Yeah.
At least,
I mean, if he contacts me, I mean, I have a few road trips coming up that I need to go on, and we can always sort of meet halfway as well.
Yeah.
Right? So Orangeville or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
yeah. Well, I'll whether he did contact you or not, I don't know. But if he does, then
anything.
Okay.
No, I haven't seen anything yet.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Good. Well, thank you for that. We'll
The
see
referral, there you go. That's
reaches
what I'm
out.
looking for.
Yeah.
Excellent. All
And
right.
Curry, do you plan to have any to make any t-shirts that are more, I know they're unisex, but are you planning to make any that are more form-fitting or use any
Yes.
other different styles of t-shirt?
Yeah, well, certainly I can. So the way I'm doing the t-shirts, it's like third party
Okay.
printing. So I can just select the item that I want it to be printed on, and then it's sort of at a as requested basis. So yeah,
Okay.
definitely. If there's something that you're interested in and you want a different style of shirt, let me know. And then
Yeah, I do. Yeah, because I saw
Yeah.
them and I was like, I want that. But you see the shirt. Well, you see the shirt I'm wearing, right? It's like closer fit. You know what I'm saying? Like it's.
Yeah.
I don't like the block
Hourglass.
shirt.
Yeah. Shirts
I don't like
for women.
Yeah,
There you
exactly.
go.
Yes,
More
t-shirts to
feminine.
fit our
Yeah.
curves.
Yes,
basically.
exactly. Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
I agree. I got your swag. I got your sticker
Hey, yeah.
in the mail
yeah,
yesterday,
nice.
and I'm waiting for the t-shirt. I ordered a t-shirt. I can't remember which one I ordered now, but I ordered one of your t-shirts. So
Yeah.
looking
yeah.
forward to that.
Yeah, the stickers and the t-shirts come from 2 different locations, and then depending where you're ordering from, then they've got different locations where they're produced. So
And then I got a nice letter from you too. So thank you very much. From Curry. It's
Excellent.
wonderful. I am so behind in answering, but one of the perks of being a school teacher is I have summers off. So
There
guess
you
what
go.
I'm going to be doing here.
Yeah.
Thank you, Curry. It's a
the
wonderful,
wall-to-wall
wonderful
letter. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. Love it. I love that we do this. It's so funny that we're doing old snail mail. It's wonderful.
Yes.
Yeah.
We got to keep the
Keep
post office in business. Yeah.
Yes.
I don't even want to talk about them.
Get your stamps, 'cause
Yeah,
they're
the
raising the
packages.
rates. Yeah.
I got 2 typewriters bouncing around with them right now. One came to Memphis, then it went to North Carolina.
Oh.
I'm like, I'm here
I've
in
seen
Memphis.
that
Why the heck?
before. With the
And this,
tracking, it just goes, yeah.
It went all the way backwards. Why? And then that particular post office has a bad name. Like there's a lot of theft going on, stuff like that, and people are getting their packages. When they open the package, it's not what they ordered. But it's addressed to them. It's all correct, but it's not what they ordered. So someone opened it and there's a lot of that going on. So I'm just scared to death that that's what's happened to that one. And the other one, Lord knows what happened. It's stuck in South Carolina somewhere.
Oh boy.
So I was like, this 1927, I worked out something with the seller to where I begged him, do not use United States Postal Service for this typewriter. And so he used UPS, and I begged him to wrap it real good and all that junk like that. And so far, communicating with them like that really works. And it should be here and safe and good. But those other 2, I said, after this 1927, I'm done with the standards. I'm done with shipping. I'd rather do the road trip if I can, Yeah.
Agreed.
Definitely.
Yeah, I've yet to buy one and have it shipped through the mail. I guess just I've been managing to collect enough just off of like Facebook, Kijiji, HiBid, things like that, where I haven't needed to get them shipped. And I hear from all you guys all the horror stories.
Yeah, it is horrible.
Yeah,
because see around here, it's rare you get the person that has what I want, as far as the typewriter. But you guys like in Canada and England and other parts of the United States that where this is more popular, I mean it's easier. So here it's very every now and then, and you might get a portable that's not my type of portable, so yeah, that's why I fell into that trap. But no more after this 1927. I'm gonna have to ride out and get it if it's near.
Just start focusing on ultra portables.
I might look into that again.
Yeah. I love ultra portables. Yeah.
Picked up one of these this week off of a HiBid site.
Skywriter.
Yeah.
Is it a Skywriter or a Zephyr? Skywriter.
Skywriter. Wrong handle for a Zephyr. I'd say probably a 2Y series.
Zephyr, I guess, is the predecessor to the Skywriter.
3 wide.
Nice.
Really?
Yeah.
3 wide.
That looks nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
very
So
nice.
yeah, I think this one's probably going to get cleaned up and go in the store. Doesn't need a whole lot done to it, and it's all in good shape. So it just needs a new black ribbon and stuff.
Yeah. One thing I have noticed about many Skywriters on sale is that the bezel on the paper support is usually missing.
Yeah.
The
They
bezel.
fall off pretty easy. This thing that says Skywriter on it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Those things pop right off.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's just held on by 6 little bend tabs, which get bent, falls off, and gets lost. Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I've got my own Skywriter in like the gray color that was only ever produced for the Canadian market, and the margin, this bar right here, has come off, and so I've got to figure out how to get it reattached. So if you've any ideas how this goes on, now that I've got one that actually has it attached, I can maybe figure it out. But
if you look at the back of the typewriter, back of the carriage, there are 2 holes, one at either end of the back cover. Very small screwdriver goes through those holes and tightens the screws. It's held on by those screws. Those screws hold the back cover and the margin rail. No,
Margin bar, yeah.
And margin rail on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Check inside the machine, because I've had those screws come loose and they'll be rattling around inside the machine in the back. So if you've actually if the screws have actually come out, definitely check inside the machine to find them, because a lot of times they'll just drop right down. They'll drop right down, and sometimes they'll get wedged inside of the mechanics. So definitely, kind of shake it around and take the skin off of it. Yeah. And see if they come loose, because it's going to be tough to find those screws if they're completely missing.
Yeah.
I don't even know what thread those are. Like a 6x40 or something like that.
Let's see. I have the parts manual.
Well, yeah. My neighbor just called, said that she needs to borrow my power rake, so I should get that down to her.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I've got a cat trying to get on the lap here now.
Oh,
Elwood. Yeah, he's half Siamese. His dad was Siamese. His mum was a tabby. And he's got his brother Jake. So Jake and Elwood.
Oh yeah,
if
yeah.
Anybody remembers?
Yeah.
Remembers the Blue Brothers.
Yep.
Oh,
excellent.
Okay, well, I better scram. It's been a great meeting.
Yes.
Having
Thank
fun
you
with
so
you
much,
guys
William.
and girls.
See you.
Yes. So we'll all be well. Talk to you next year. Next week. Sorry. Take care.
I'll see you next week, William.
Take care. Bye-bye, William.
Always good to see you.
Okay, that screw is A293 in the parts manual. Let me see what the threads are. A293.
And then do you have a magic way of looking up if they're available to get?
No, but I can tell you what the screw thread is.
Yeah. Then you're on your own to machine one yourself.
Or find it at a hardware store. I just got to locate it in the screw chart here. They kind of randomly put about 1,000 screws in no particular order.
Oh.
A293.
by the way, in the YouTube comments, John Vicek says, last time May said she has heard the more square body 40s QDL is better than the 50s. He says, I just got a 48. May, it's true. Smoother and quieter. Get one.
Yes, I will.
Very cool.
Okay, that is a binding head 540 screw. So I think it's let's see, 540. Yep, so it's a 540. They should know what that means.
Oh, the
Probably like the
540?
pitch and thread.
All right. Well, thank you for that. I'll see if I can, if they're not in there, see what I can find.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All righty.
Excellent. Good work, Ted.
No problem. That's what the information is for.
Yeah, precisely. All right. Well, did anybody have prompts or any questions or comments or anything before we go?
Looks like Gregory is saying, oh, from YouTube, John Vicek said that the 40s are better than the 50s on the Royal QDLs.
Yeah.
Vindication.
So we all need to get a typewriter just like Ted's first one. Isn't that the first typewriter you ever changed?
1948. Yep.
Oh, by the way, Ted, earlier you had it was like a satchel type case out, kind of an ivory color or off-white color, and
khaki.
As it was sitting there on your desk, I was thinking that looks like a straitjacket.
Oh no, that's my Monster Scout satchel of holding. Happens to perfectly fit a Hermes Rocket.
Okay.
So,
yeah, but those straps remind me of the old straitjackets.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, the things that go through my mind.
Yep. You're a weird guy, Mr. Poor Typist.
Yes, I am.
As we all are in a way.
Yes, that's why we're all here.
Yes.
All right. Well, yeah, thank you everybody for being here, and
thank you for hosting us again.
Thank you for
yes,
hosting.
you're welcome. You are welcome.
All the great work that you do. And
you're welcome.
that we
I
have
like your new lens, by the way, where you got nice bouquet on the bokeh on the background.
Yeah.
Oh, mine?
Yes.
Oh,
did you get a new camera or something?
No. Well,
Zoom
first of all, I'm sitting facing the windows. Usually, I'm sitting in front of the windows, and so there's a lot of backlighting.
This is much better.
Yeah, I'm aiming the other way, and I have it's a filter in the software I'm using to blur the background.
Oh, so you're not actually using like a wide open lens.
No,
SLR.
It's trickery. It's trickery.
It's trickery. You fooled me.
It works really well, I must say. Like if I move a little bit, you can kind of.
Well, I was wondering why it was blurring the label on your beer bottle, but I guess it's
Censorship.
As a background.
No brands allowed.
They haven't paid to be a sponsor yet, so you can blur their label out.
Yeah. All right. Oh, there's Lynn again. You're here for the sign off, huh?
Yeah, I thought I'd say bye-bye.
Excellent.
I was just wondering, I put a lot of stuff on the typewriter database and nobody comments or anything. I mean, is that just normal?
That's pretty normal. People aren't really social there. Unless you've got like a machine that just really, really is amazing, then lots of people will comment on it. But
yeah,
most people just look.
Yeah, look and record, but there's no way for like when you sign on, there's no notification that you've got messages or replies. You have to go and individually look at each entry and look for the green button, you know. So you just have to keep up with the ones that you comment on and reply to, and then go back and check to see if anybody's answered.
Well, because first and foremost, it's intended as a database, right?
Right. Yeah, not a social.
It's not a social platform. It's
it's not a message board.
Well, if I wanted it to be that, then I could put a message board in it. But
some people get
that's more work.
Some people get comments, yes, but
I don't get any comments. But that's because I don't have my typewriters on there yet.
You don't?
No.
Gregory.
See my furrowed brow?
I know.
All of us collectively.
But I'm wrapping my mind around the task of doing it. So I think it's going to start very soon, probably this week. So
the biggest problem is getting the photos to be small enough size. You have to have a converter to take them down. But once you get the hang of that, then it goes pretty quick. I thought when I put the blick up there and said, I don't really want this, you know, if somebody knows how to fix it or would like it, you know, I thought maybe somebody'd comment like, ooh, but I don't
maybe
know.
I'll comment. Giving it away.
The database is so lonely.
I have a question about the database though, and maybe it's me, but I remember when I used to go to the database and I would see everything in a list. How do I go to that instead of having to see just the pictures? Like, for example, when I type in Royal, right? I'm looking for something and I get pictures and people's, you know, typewriters, but I used to get like the list and some, you know, like little history, I don't know, like a beige list, and then sometimes a little picture of the typewriters and stuff. And I'm not seeing
you
that
want
now.
the serial number page.
Serial number.
Yeah. But instead of the pictures and the
different
serial number.
views.
Ow.
Yes.
It could be me, but I was getting it and then now I don't.
Okay.
But if you go to
there's two different entry boxes on the side of the page where one says to find out when your typewriter was made using the typewriter serial number, start by choosing the brand from the select box below.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna go straight up there. Okay, so where is that again?
Right in the corner, upper right corner, or upper left corner, sorry. If you're on a desktop browser.
Yes,
And then you just type in the name, like if you type Royal, then you can select from the select list. It'll take you to the serial number page, which has the list of serial numbers and the black and white photos.
Yeah, because I typed in Royal just now and I'm clicking enter. Is that what I do?
Yes.
Okay.
And do you see that page now? Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I see a page, but it's full of the, okay. I got it now. I got it. See something, I don't know what happened there. I got it now.
Okay.
I got it. It was me.
And then the other one below that, where it has two different select boxes, is the one for the gallery pages.
Right.
And that's, I call them BMYS. It's by model year serial number. And it just shows the galleries by model year and serial number. So
see, what I've been doing wrong is going straight over here, because I used to see the list, like I said, and then I go over here and directly click on Royal 10. When I click on Royal 10, then I get all these pictures and stuff. I was like, no, that's not what I want.
that's because you're selecting a specific model. It's going to show you all the galleries for that model.
The galleries, yeah. See, no, okay, I'm in it now. I got you. Thank you.
If you're in a gallery, you can go to the very end and it'll link you to the serial page too.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that.
Yeah, if you see somewhere, like there's this little orange bar that's above every page. It usually says like home brands, Royal, or it might say home, Royal 10, with like little carrots in between them. If you just click on the Royal part of it, that'll take you to the age list. Those are actually links to the various pages. like if you click on brands, like the blue button at the top or any of those, it'll take you to an alphabetical list of all the brands for the serial number pages. So you can scroll through those if you want.
Okay. Yeah, I kind of overlooked this somehow about going in here, but okay. I'm good now. Thank you.
Yeah, see that would take you to Royal, and that would take you to the Royal P page.
Those are the breadcrumbs.
Yeah, breadcrumbs.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Thanks, man.
It's the only way that I can keep track of what I've got. Because I'm
gonna need to go. Yeah.
I just dig through the piles of typewriters and that's how I know what I've got.
I need to go through each one of mine again and write down what they are and put them on my little erasers or something, like put it, or, because I'm forgetting, like this is a 1923 and then give me another week, then I'll forget what it was. So I need something to place on it to say, well, I got stickers, I got these eraser things too, I can write on, and so
Well, get yourself some of those little tags on a string where you can.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
You can.
I think I have
tie it
those
around the handle
in my sewing room. As a matter of fact, I think I have that because I used to sell my pieces. So yeah, that's a good idea. I can use that.
She hasn't been on here in a long time, but Sarah Van Ellen, she puts the little Dymo labels on her typewriters, and I know because she sent me a typewriter and it had that little label on it.
Yeah,
blended 33.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yep.
May's getting her fingers dirty.
This is really dried up nylon ribbon, and it was brand new, but it's not very dark. And I think with some of the older typewriters, they were probably meant for the cotton ribbon, because nylon ribbon probably wasn't available in 1935, was it?
No, it.
So I'm going to switch this nylon out cotton and see how it works better.
Nylon would have been early 40s.
Yeah, so this was made before there was nylon. So I've got some cotton ribbon that I ordered from Lucas Dull, and so I'm going to switch it out to cotton ribbon and see if it looks darker and better.
Excellent. I did just get some ribbon. It's censored, but not much to see anyway. But some ribbon on Amazon. These are the FJA.
FJA products.
Yeah.
Oh, FJA. Yeah.
Oh,
order from them. Yeah.
Yeah, I get the twin packs. One of just black and one of black and red, and I got two of them. So I'm set on ribbon for a while. Yep.
Yeah, I just ordered 4 ribbons. Yeah.
Excellent.
They buy 4 more typewriters.
I know.
So what's Mike doing to that SG1?
I've got it all apart, which this has been great. I mean, I've been ignoring y'all listening, but I've been taking this apart. So I've got the case off and everything like that. And I'm just trying to kind of clean it up. And it's actually not bad inside, but there's just some dust and crud in there that I got in there. And of course, you take one of these things apart, you never want to use whiteout again because it's everywhere.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to, and I guess I have to order the manual for this one, but I'm trying to troubleshoot the tab mechanism, which is the only thing that seems to be not working. But I noticed one of the feed rollers is, I've got to get some tubing for that because it's cracked.
Uh-oh.
But otherwise it's just in pretty good shape, other than that, that margin thing, which I think I'll just bring something up that rings the bell and, that'll hold me over.
Yeah.
Well, really, if you need any spare parts, I had one that got in a car accident. I wasn't in it, but it was in the trunk of a car accident and sort of bent. So.
Boy.
Okay, well, I'll reach out to you. I think you're on the list. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Well, thank you.
Sure.
And we always encourage people working on their typewriters on Typewriter Club Live. So
I've seen everybody else do it. I might as well.
I love seeing it. I love seeing
the garage.
I love seeing people work on their typewriters. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd show you my print press, but it's buried under so much junk here that I
Oh.
couldn't see it.
Next time.
Yeah, next time. I keep saying that.
All right. Well, I think we're going to end it here.
All right.
Thank you again, everybody. And Ted
Ah!
Oh!
Thank you, Gregory.
I was just
no.
An exit.
I was just gonna say Ted started his visit with us today doing cat drumming, and now he's ending it with cat drumming. So
there's the cat.
Yes. Oh.
She's got 2 teeth. Let's see if I can get her to open her mouth. Open your mouth. Open your mouth. Ah, no, you're not gonna do it, are you?
Hello, kid.
Oh, that's a sturdy cat.
All
Oh.
right. Have a good weekend, everybody.
Everybody have a good
Much,
weekend.
everybody.
Great holiday.
See you next
Bye.
time.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
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 Bye.